with Foundry, you could actually there's a module that you can install that allows people to like they can roll on their phone and it'll show up in the Foundry as well. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, but does Wizards of the Coast own Foundry?
No.
Let's not talk about that now. Welcome everybody to this week's session of D&D. I think it's episode 13. Anybody want to give me some? Just rattle off some events of what happened last time.
We tried to restart the network and we failed.
Well, failure is just a step in the learning process. So,
I have to go back to my forge.
we'll see if you guys can figure something out. Anything else? That was the last thing that happened, actually, in the episode. So, there are a few things that happened prior to.
I mean, we just
The only thing that involved me, so I wasn't paying attention.
we killed a fake Hydra.
Well, that was a couple set, but that was a big thing that happened. You all discovered the two false hydras in the city and killed them both.
Big ass explosion happened. To the,
Yeah,
believe
the big old
of us.
explosion. Yeah.
It was east of us, east of us. But yeah, I
Oh,
appreciate.
and we learned that the gods that we know of as gods are probably gone.
We met Voss outside the area to get into the heart. Then we went into the heart and talked to Mister, I guess, because it wasn't really Aurora.
Yeah, it was definitely not Aurora. It was somebody else.
She did not like the idea of the seven-headed guy, but admitted that it was her predecessor.
Well, I don't think she admitted it, but she definitely there was some
admitted it.
inferences that could be made.
I asked if it was, and she called me smart.
But you are
you take that as you're right. That is exactly what she said. You're right.
And because of Bucky's amazing locksmithing skills, we were able to restore the city's defenses.
Indeed, who knew a random candle was the key? Yes, through the joint efforts of Bucky, Tolliver, and Ian, you all were able to restore the functionality of the veil to the city that was previously unraveled. So the city is back under at least protection from surveillance and hot teleportations, and scryings and so forth. Yeah. So the explosion, yes, and you all made an effort to maybe guess at where the explosion could be because it is far off over the horizon. But as time goes by, you can gradually look up at the sky and see that it is progressively, shade by shade, gradient by gradient, turning greener, which is weird. Yeah, we pick up with you. Those of you all who were in the Codex, the Heart Codex room, dispersing from that room and headed off into various places. I believe Tolliver was already in the college with Bucky, researching things about the seven-pointed guy. Maybe, hopefully, trying to find some articles of information on him.
Well, I had went down to with Hephaestus, or Bucky went down to with Hephaestus and whomever to go to the heart to try and get it working again.
So Ian went off to the heart, and he went to go get ley crystals and go to the heart. I remember that. We'll just ask this, Buck. What do you want to do? What do you want to be doing, Bucky?
Well, where I left off, because I watched the VOD. Where I left off was I was at the heart because he had asked if we all cast spells at the same time.
Oh, the Heart Codex. The
heart. Yeah, the heart codex.
This room that's currently on the screen.
Yeah. That.
Yeah.
So I was there at the heart codex.
Yeah. So and the session ended with you all dispersing from this room and headed off in various different directions.
Yeah, I was gonna go take a nap.
Oh, okay. Bucky's going to bed. Okay.
Yeah, I plan to just do the research and then go to bed that night as well, because I didn't have the energy to go to
Okay.
the forge.
Aster, what is it you wanted to do?
I would probably just try and meet up with them to find out like what the next plan of action is, and then rest myself.
Okay. Oh, point of order. Franz, buddy, let me have you for a sec.
What do we got?
Okay, so sorry I didn't send the dossier to you in the text. I just suck. But okay, so the dossier that you got on the monks, they are the Order of the Order of the Iron Fist. They are an order of monks who worship the god of judgment. Hold on, gotta remember his name real quick. Kelemvor.
Well, how do you spell it?
Kelm. Kelem. Kelmvor.
Kelmvor.
Kelem. Kelemvor.
Okay, got it.
The headquarters for these monks actually reside in a temple in the human capital city of Iravel.
Spelling on that one.
Iraveil. Tolliver is very familiar with this city. He is from there. It is where originally it's a city that was settled by the Khan wizarding family and the von Donover wizarding family. And it's a city, two cities that were so big and in such close proximity that they grew so large that they combined together. And that is also the high seat of the human kingdom where the High King lives. And it's easy to find out the name of the High King. They're stationed in a temple there. However, the dossier states that since the strife with the von Donover family, where the von Donovers have vacated that city and fallen back to a secondary city because they are beefing with the High King over actually who owns Ellengrad, right?
Wait, the monks have been beefing with.
No. The von Donovers have been beefing with the High Royal family.
Okay.
Over who actually owns Ellengrad, because they both know that that something's going on here, right? But they've gathered enough information about the Spectral Army and you all being there and the technology being there that they can't commit forces to your all's city and also fend off the attacks from either the von Donovers. You get what I'm saying? Like they're in a stalemate kind of thing. And as of late, there's been a lot of unrest in Iravel because the monks, well, there's been unrest and the order of the monks have sort of risen in influence because their strict enforcement of like law and rule has helped curtail a lot of the crime and unrest in the city that has been going on since the armies have left, and that the order there are more and various outposts of these monks, like little sects of them that are forming up in other towns and cities throughout the human kingdom. And because I rolled for this and it rolled really well, your spy has actually uncovered the plans for the order to send a detachment or a force to Ellengrad to subdue the murderous ice demon, and they know of you, but they're more focused on Blue than they are you, and you're sort of a if they can manage it kind of thing. And
Okay.
that detachment of monks led by the his name's it's just the title, Pillar of Faith. Pillar of the Sun, and like SUN, Pillar of the Sun, and he is like, it's a title. You gather that you don't really know what the title entails, but it's him and a retainer of his most elite disciples, and they are headed towards Elengrad.
Okay. So, real quick, going back, since the strife with the Donover or Von Donovers and the High King who owns Elengrad, they know about the Ghost Army. And what else is in there?
They know of the Ghost Army. They know that you all are there, and that you all are formidable since you were able to recover the cursed city that has been cursed for fucking ever, right? And they have, no one else has been able to do it, but you all have. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So there's like a
Right.
healthy respect, and they know like it's a fortified city with a garrisoned spectral militia that seems to be immortal, right? And also they know that there are magical wonders in this city that would make invading it just outright like irresponsible.
Difficult or stupid, yeah.
Yeah, irresponsible to do in the current state of the war that they're going on. That's like the skirmishes that are already happening between the Von Donovers and the royal families.
Gotcha. Okay, sorry, I was trying to take notes that whole time. Is there anything else?
No, that's about it.
Okay.
You weren't
Got
able
it.
to get, yeah, you weren't able to get like names of like, yeah, that's about it.
Let's see. Do I know of any way? Well, do I know about their initiation? Like, how do you join?
It seems to, so that, okay, I'll give you that. Yeah, the spy was able to actually get in because it was very easily for him to be recruited. It's,
Yeah.
and he's still there, right? Like the spy that you have within the Iron Fist is still there, right? And he's now as sort of like an embedded contact. But it's really easy. All you have to do is, you just sign up, and they strip you of all your belongings, basically.
Okay. Because I
That
wanted
kind of
him to
thing.
infiltrate actually into it. So
Yeah,
that's
he's
cool.
he's in there.
Do we know their like goals? You said they worship the god of judgment, but is there like, are they trying to bring him back or some crazy shit? Like
You don't know anything about that. At face value, what they tell the grunts, at least during intake, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this guy's very low level currently. What he knows is, like, generally, like, what they've been telling him is that they're there to maintain and restore order to places that are, you know, dealing with the unrest and the chaos. There's looting going on in different places at the kingdom, so on and so forth. They sort of guard the highways, things like that, but they enforce them very strictly, kind of thing. But there are, he's not privy to them specifically, and he was just able to grab that little piece of information because he was sent as a runner between a higher up and they got the Pillar of the Sun, the guy charged with coming to Elengrad. It seems that they are targeting various blue tieflings that they know of throughout the kingdom for some reason.
Okay. So I'll just message him back to lay low and continue to try and rise and learn as much as he can about movements, objectives, anything like that.
Okay. All right. No problem. Roll for that later. Okay. Hello. So, Aster, what do you want? Was there something that you wanted to be doing?
I was going to just meet back up with the.
Oh, that's right, and go to bed. Yeah, I asked you that.
I was also going to check to see in the normal spot that I received messages from Karkaroff if he responded to my note.
Okay. Since everybody's dispersing from the chamber, let's start with the guy who's already been sort of doing some things. Tolliver. What is it? Just run me back real quick. What is it that you're looking for here exactly?
Mainly, I think it was just kind of like mention of him because he was like a really unknown entity. He seems obviously, I have suspicions that he's like a kind of very old god of our world. So just like really any references to like a 7-crown, it's seemingly like male deity that came before Mistra. I'm still going off that lead.
Okay. Roll. I'm gonna roll an investigation check for me.
Okay.
With an advantage because you familiarized yourself with the tomes and stacks and so forth. Okay, 25 is pretty damn good. Okay. So here's what I'll tell you that you find immediately. So you know Aurelia's there, right? So she's been helping. She was sat here for this purpose. So she's going through and trying to find the singular like oldest text that she can find in the catalog in that system. You start with, we'll say you start with Persimon's personal journals. You go back to the beginning and you read through a lot of his earlier entries, hoping that like maybe that's far back enough. He still makes mention in the very early parts of his journals about Mistra being the goddess. So you're like, no, that's not it. So you sort of jump around randomly and you land towards the very end of Persimon's personal journals, right before he starts succumbing to the madness that the curse, pervaded the city through the curse. And he starts talking about a sealed or hidden power underneath of the city. A crypt, and he describes the sarcophagus that you guys have seen down there. And he says that there are hidden enchantments and runes all throughout that crypt and on the sarcophagus that are not easily noticeable, that they are so intricate and delicate and powerfully done that they're almost impossible to see without excruciating study on the sarcophagus. And it's a prison that is being powered by the heart energy. There's a prison so powerful that it has to be powered by the heart energy. And Persimon makes mention of, while he's studying the sarcophagus and its magic, that he begins to hear whispers and he feels nudges and sways on his personality. And then he later starts mentioning the 7-pointed one who guides him on his new journey. As the journal entries go on, they become more and more erratic. He becomes more and more crazed as the curse of the city sets in, and his journal entries become less coherent. But you do parse out the 25 in sort of the more madness-ridden texts that he will set his new god free. But new god is in the context of like new as in like brand new to him, like new to him. And he will set his new god free and be rewarded for doing so. And that's sort of the madness that's twisted in there, with the goal to set this god under the city free.
So the madness.
So the madness in the city came first, and it starts influencing him. But part of his madness was being influenced by the entity that was in the sarcophagus. The entity in the sarcophagus was teaching him to do things, and through his teaching is how Persimon became a lich, right? And then was able to as a lich, able to live long enough to begin to work out the intricacies of the prison of the sarcophagus. But then he sort of fell to complete madness and wasn't able to wasn't ever able to successfully open the sarcophagus.
That's a little insidious.
Well,
Makes me feel less good. I mean, obviously, if you're trapped, you're working to get free. But like, why did they? And I'm just thinking out loud as Tolliver here. But like, well, why did the city trap him in the first place? And
Aurelia pipes up when you're speaking out loud, and she goes, "Yeah, it's weird. There's a distinct like gap in the knowledge and the systems here regarding this entity in the sarcophagus. It's like completely blocked out. Yeah, like I can't get into it at all.
I wonder. I mean, this city's always been kind of a seat of arcane power, right?
I mean, yeah. In its time, this city was the greatest city, like the greatest city when it came to like magic users ruled it, so on and so forth. Like it was
Dedicated to Mystra. Has it always been?
Well, so there are some people who think that like science and religion are intertwined, and there were sects of the city people who were religious and they prayed to Mystra. Was the like all of the gods of the pantheon were worshipped here in one way or another, but Mystra, because the city was full of so many mages and so many like artificers and scientists, that Mystra sort of became came to the forefront here.
Right. I guess what I'm thinking is it possible that she used this city to trap this other entity so she could take the mantle of godhood?
Wow. Well, that would imply that... What, are you insinuating that Mystra was immortal first?
I mean, it can imply a lot of things. I don't necessarily am like pointing toward that. It's possible.
So, are you sort of implying that godhood can be taken, or bestowed, or given, or what? Are you trying to become a god, Tolliver?
No, I'm trying to figure out why this thing is trapped under the city.
Oh. Well, maybe you can just ask him.
Yeah, things lie. I'd like to go in armed with a bit more knowledge than being completely in the dark. I don't want to be manipulated by it.
That's fair. I will keep looking, see if I can find anything else. Okay. While that's going on, so those of you all were in the Heart Codex chamber. Where did y'all? So Hephaestus, you wanted to go back to your forge?
Yes, I went back to the forge.
Okay, Franz, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go rest.
Okay, Franz is going to bed. Bucky's going to bed. Astra's going to bed. Tolliver, are you? So you said you're going to research. So it's pretty late. Do you just want to go ahead and go to bed as well? After the
Yeah, I'm going to bed after my research, and I'm
Okay.
definitely exhausted.
Okay. So all right. So we'll go to Hephaestus. Hephaestus, as you walk out of the Heart Codex through the vault and out back into the city, it is nighttime, proper now, deep into the night. But as you look out, you can see there's a sort of faint pulsating light that sort of pervades everything. And as you look up, you sort of your eye tracks to the source of it, and it's off to the east over the horizon line. There is it's a doo-doo of pulsating green light off on the horizon, and this light is you're getting like the very end of it, but it's there. It's just like there's this doo-doo of like light fluctuation in front of you as you walk around here. You make your way through the city, back to the forge. You enter in through its front door. What would you like to do?
So while I was the something that Ayan had said about the network matrix. I was kind of going over it in my head while I was watching that little light show thing. And I have to figure out a way to restart the network, right? Something about the resonance and that stuff. So I'm going to just sit down at a table and draw up some sketches that I need to make an item that to do that, to help with that, conducting something into the network to basically put it back in the correct rhythm. And then I'm going to bed.
Okay. Make
Before I go to bed, before I go to bed, I will say a prayer to Hephaestus, and I will use my divine intervention for the day.
Okay, so just seeking some inspiration and some guidance on this
On this
device.
problem.
On this.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll your.
Basically, I'm going to say Hephaestus. I don't know if you're still there. I had a weird encounter with who I think is Mistra, and she basically said you guys are gone. But I need to get this thing fixed, and I need your help. Here comes a D100. And he just doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, as you work through the night, go ahead and make me a let's see. I'm trying to think about how, like, what role this would be. I don't want to do an intelligence check because that's not how Hephaestus works. So you'd sort of just be doing it intuitively. Make a wisdom check.
You want a wisdom save or a wisdom check?
Check. Damn. Okay. All right. As you all, as you work through the night, you feel like you've really got something going on. You close your eyes for like just a second, and then your head drops to your forearm, and you're out cold. Everybody's in bed at this point, right? All right. Y'all are gonna have to bear with me here. There's a lot going on. I'll have to do this piecemeal. We'll start with Hephaestus. Hephaestus, your head slumps to your forearm, but then, like, your eyes open, and you lift your head up, and you see in front of you there's a steaming mug of something, and you're like, You sniff, and you smell coffee. And as you look up, and you're like, well, I didn't make coffee. What the? And you sort of lift your head up. There's someone sitting across the table from you. It's a large figure. Very broad of shoulder. You see his hands first, and they're these very rough looking, almost like tanned hands with crisscrossing scars across the knuckles. And they are very big, strong, meaty hands as they're sort of laced through one another. You track the hand up across rock solid forearms that are about, you think about the size of your head, up to falling up strong, very large black beard. What?
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't interrupting you. But...
Okay, a very long black beard with white strands sort of crisscrossing up to a very tan and rugged face with, you stop at the eyes. The eyes catch you. They are black as coal, and there's a small red light, in the very far back of his eyes, sort of smoldering red light. Long black hair tied back in a tail behind him, and he's wearing forge, basically like forge coveralls or overalls, like a apron. As your head sort of raises, you instantly feel a severe familiarity with this person. You look at him at first and you're like, oh, that's Atlas. But then you're like, and something like intuitively, immediately feels wrong about that inclination. It's not Atlas. This whoever this is, it's more. The presence that you feel is almost stifling. There's a heat radiating off of him that causes a sweat to come across your brow. And he takes a large mug in front of him and he takes a sip of it and he goes, you really got to stop asking me every time you've got a problem with something. I like people who do things for themselves. We're not going to be here much longer, and I'm not going to be able to hold your hand.
I'm at a loss for words on how to not scream at this dude because I know who it is and I want to yell at him, but I know I shouldn't.
So as you're sitting there like struggling,
hold my hand. Do you have any idea what the hell we've been dealing with down here? I'm asking for a little bit of assistance, and you've been off playing silly-ass games by yourself. Atlas is gone. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. But, yeah. So...
You sort of, as you express yourself, he just looks at you with these hard, passive eyes. He goes, I am keenly aware of that loss. It is why I am able to
fix this shit.
If you would just listen. This is the last thing. The last thing I'm going to be able to do for quite some time. You asked for help on this problem. Here. He sort of places his hand on your drawings, and you see this shimmering golden light come over top of the prints, and it just changes. He goes, you had the right idea, but the application was wrong. My intervention is few and far between. Even more so now going
well
forward.
aware.
You have what power remains of mine left on this plane.
Say again.
You are my sole, for lack of a better term, survivor. You are my last hope. Just sort of... I'm sorry that that's how it is.
It's fine, and I would love to be, able to bring you back. But, we're kind of sitting here starting at zero.
He waves his hand as you're talking. That's wrong. That's not going to be able to happen.
Well, how do we fix it?
Mistra was here, and she told you. Our time has come and gone. I don't know how you fix it. I don't know.
So answer this question before you leave. Were you these invader gods that we're dealing with? I'm sure you're aware of them. Did they put you in this position, or did somebody else?
Make a persuasion check. Hold on. Yeah, make a persuasion check.
Fuck.
You see,
Because it seems
when you ask him that question, and he just looks frustrated as his form flickers. I'm not allowed to tell you that.
How about a guy with a 7-pointed crown? You ever heard of him? He seems like he's the predecessor to Mistra. I got his body in a sarcophagus in the basement. Should we let him out?
You see his form flicker some more, and you feel sort of like a swimming, like your head sort of swimming feeling. And you see, like, just off behind him, there's a light that's starting to form, and it's growing brighter and brighter and brighter. And he goes, I can't tell you what to do. That is for you to decide. You must have free will in this. You may try to contact me again, but I cannot guarantee anything. Good luck. The light sort of gets brighter and brighter, and you wake up, and there's sunlight piercing through a window and into your eyes. Okay, hold on. We're gonna rewind time just a little bit.
Just to get ahead of it. Obviously, I'm gonna look at the drafts that he fixed, and I'm gonna start making it.
Okay.
Was I sleep long enough to get a rest?
Yes, you leveled up. Yeah. Let's go with Franz.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I came back. I missed that. We just long rest completed.
No, well, I'm getting there. How fast this has?
Oh, okay.
We're getting there.
Okay.
Franz, as you lay your head down
Yes.
to sleep for the evening. It's late into the night. And as you lay there and you try to sleep, it doesn't come easy. As you're laying there, you hear this noise. At first, you're like it's been sort of sitting in the back of your head all day, and you didn't really realize it until you laid down here and you focused on it. In your ears, you hear a heart beating noise. Doom, doom. Doom, doom. And it's faint at first, but it's there just enough to where when you try to lay down and find peace and go to sleep, it sort of interrupts and robs you of that tranquility.
Mm-hmm.
And as the night goes on, it gets just a little bit louder. Doom, doom. Doom, doom. But eventually the hour grows so late that your body succumbs to exhaustion and you're able to fall asleep. And when you finally do, it's a fleeting thing, and when you wake up, it's really hard. It's one of those dreams where, like, unless you think about it intensely, it goes away, and you're never able to think about what actually happened ever again. But what you do hold on to when you wake up is a feeling of immense cold. I mean, you wake up and you feel it deep, deep, deep within your bones. And when you wake up, it's sort of bothers you a little bit because you're under a bunch of blankets, like a bunch of furs and stuff like that. But you just cannot get warm. And that feeling sort of persists, and then you realize, oh wait, I can't move my limbs. But you can, like, your eyes are open and you can look around your room. And your heart starts to race as your body temperature continues to plummet. And you can't move your arms and legs, they feel frozen solid. And just out of the corner of your eye, you see a silhouette of a figure. It's tall. And it's wearing some kind of fur robe, but the details of it are indescribable to you right now, or indiscernible. But you do see a pair of large, curling horns coming out of a humanoid-shaped head. You see a long, prehensile tail sort of like wrapped around and sort of waving up by his head, or by its head. And then you see its hands are crossed over on a cane with a very bright blue sapphire centered on top of the pommel. And it's just standing there staring at you, and you feel it staring at you. And as you continue to sit there, you can't turn your head. It's just in the corner of your eye. Your heart's just pounding out of your chest. And then you just hear it breathing. Deep breaths in and out, in and out. Your vision goes white. And then you wake up again. And you're able to sit up and you can move your arms and legs and you can breathe and turn your head. And you look around and there's no one in your room.
Yeah, I definitely want to check for any physical evidence of something being there.
All right, make a perception check. Okay. As you sit up, and you realize it's like you don't feel that bone deep coldness, but you do feel something cold and wet all around you. And you look around, and your bed is covered in snow. Head to toe, like tip to bottom, and then it's like as you look around, it's on the ground around you, all in your sleeping chambers. It's just the floor is covered in snow, your dressers are covered in snow, and as you look over back into the corner where you swear you saw the entity, you see two big ass hoof prints, like too large to be. And they're just standing there, bipedal, two large hoof prints, indention in the snow.
I don't remember. That's not Blue's Ice Demon, right?
No, Blue's Ice Demon did
didn't
not
have
have hooves.
hooves.
No, it did not.
Well, yeah, the next step would be to go check on Blue.
Okay, so you sort of throw the covers off of your bed, get your shit on, and you go find Blue. Okay. Yeah, that's everybody. So everybody else wakes up. New day. You all wake up leveled up. Ding. Grats. What would you all... So, Franz is going to go find Blue. We'll deal with that. Hephaestus is working on the thing.
Yeah, the new hammer.
No, it's not a new hammer.
Damn it. I tried.
You did. It's okay.
I give you a lot of effort for that.
I will say, yeah, I mean, hey, you don't want it bad enough, you know what I mean? No, not...
Got
you
my
know,
shoot
if you
my
don't,
shot.
Yeah, you don't shoot your shot, you don't want it bad enough. So we'll start off with... Tolliver? Oh, Aster, before you went to bed last night, there was nothing in your drop location between you and Karkaroff.
All right.
Okay. So Bucky, Tolliver, Aster, what do you guys want to be doing?
Had something, lost it. Sorry.
Okay. I don't know if Ben is here, King.
I'm going to just try and find anyone in our group.
Okay. Well, so as done previously before, wow. You tracked down you went to Hephaestus' forge and knew he was there. So, we'll just say you go to Hephaestus' forge.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess Ben's AFK. Yeah.
No, I'm
No?
here.
Okay. What's Bucky doing this morning?
Where did I sleep?
You would have slept in one of the rooms in the. They've given you a room in the government. Wow, Roll20 is acting a fucking fool, isn't it?
Well, I would have woke up. And I said, well, today's a good day. I woke up feeling like a whole new bunny. Woo! I feel real good about myself right now. But I'm hungry. Oh, I'm starving. I can eat a whole horse. But not really, because they big. I'm going to go downstairs and get me something to eat. Bucky actually says this out loud in his room while he talks to himself a lot.
Okay.
I can actually see that. Yeah, Bucky does strike me as the type of motherfucker that would talk to himself. And in the third person.
I'm gonna go downstairs and get me some of that good. That real good food down there.
What the fuck is going on, girl? Did you all see my ping?
Yeah.
Is it moving really fucking slow?
No, well, not on ours end, so you probably have like hardware acceleration issues. Your browser.
Mine's moving at the same speed.
No, it does seem kind of slow. Yeah, my ping looks kind of slow too.
I know it's super slow.
Mine looks normal.
I'm not having any memory issue. But, well, actually, yep. Whenever you all ping, my CPU usage spikes up to 70%.
Good.
That's why.
Everyone ping now. Go. Crash it.
I don't know why I told you.
Did an update come out?
I don't know. Streamlabs. I'm also, Streamlabs also doing some shit, but that's okay. I don't really need to ping right now.
Streamlabs is shit.
Okay. So Bucky's gonna go get some food. Tolliver,
Yeah.
what are you doing? You said you lost. Do you remember what you?
I am going to. I'm probably just gonna continue like doing some light research. While I do my morning stuff in the college, and I'll probably go try to find Franz at some point as well here in the early afternoon, in the morning.
Okay. Was that you? Did you make that noise? Hold on one second.
Awfully quiet today.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I think why aren't we waiting for Wick?
I'm right here. What?
What's
What?
going on?
Y'all waiting on each other?
No. I had to check on something. Who's?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Okay. Bucky went to Greek food. Aster went to Hephaestus. Tolliver's doing his morning thing. Alright, we will do Aster. You walk up on the forge doors. And you walk in and you go inside. You hear the sound of clanging metal, like hammers hitting, and the sounds of a forge. And you make your way downstairs here to the forge, where you see Hephaestus working on some bullshit.
Not bullshit, sir.
Okay.
That's some very nice bullshit, Hephaestus.
I'm assuming intellectually I know how this thing works, right?
Actually, you're sort of just going off of faith.
Help us.
You're working.
God help us.
Yeah, you're working in a religious force. So like, you have your divine intervention, not your divine intervention. You have your channel divinity, right? So through your channel divinity, you're able to like use this schematic that Hephaestus manipulated. So you've just been sort of looking at it and just building it off of blind trust, just like blind faith, because it's through your religion that you gained this inspiration and your forged clericness. So yeah, you're just sort of building it. I will say this. So what it looks like, for all intents and purposes, it does kind of look like a tuning fork, but it's not like a handheld tuning fork. You've taken ley crystal, and you have embedded it. This is like this. Once you're done making it, it's going to take 2 people to carry this thing. But it is like it's a large 2-person sized tuning fork. It's like 10 feet long, made out of heavy steel and interspersed places of ley crystal, especially at the tips of the 2 prongs of the tuning fork.
Okie dokie. I'm assuming, why am I drawing a blank right now? Aster, like makes it known that he doesn't just stand there and hovering. I know he's there.
Yeah, I mean, he walked up on you.
Okay.
And he said something to
Well,
you.
I mean, he could have just walked up and stood behind me.
No, he said that's some interesting bullshit you have there.
Ah, okay. Sorry. I thought he was just. I didn't realize that was in character. Oh yeah, it is. I had a really weird night. I'm sure I don't want to tell it all 100,000 times, so I'll just tell everybody at once. But I need to get this done so that I can go restart the network so we can get the defenses online. Or not the defenses, but the rest of this damn city online. I'm sure there's more that this city can do that we're not aware of because the network is not working properly. We need more AI, and that's what Aurelia needs. Yeah, because I need her to come with me on our adventure. So I need her to be able to build shit so she can leave.
Is there something I could do to help?
Yeah, hold this right here. I'm just going to point to a piece of it and have him hold
Alright.
it while I bang on it.
So, I'm trying to... Alright, make a history check with, if you're not proficient in it, add your proficiency bonus.
Ooh.
You. Well, actually, make a religion check. If you're not proficient in it, you are on this check. Damn. Oh, you have advantage because he's helping you. Okay. 17. Okay. All right. Yeah. So after some time goes by, you can you finish making. You check the schematic. You double check it. You triple check it, and you're like, all right, I'm pretty sure that's it.
You want to help me carry this down to the vault?
Sure. How big is this thing?
It's like 10 feet long. It's like think of like a. It's like the height and weight of a goalpost, like a basketball goal.
Can the two of us carry it?
Well, it's not fully metal, right? So it's got like the crystal in it. But you all can make a strength check or an athletics check as carrying something far distance. Well, what's your carrying capacity? Well, let's just make someone make an athletics check with advantage.
+1.
I got it.
$15. What's your carrying capacity? Do you know?
Hang on.
It's your strength score multiplied by 15.
225.
225. Okay. Yeah. It's okay. Between the two of you, with the 15. Sure. You take the two prongs of the. You take the two prongs of the tuning fork and you like set them on your shoulder and you like pack mule. You start pack muling it with like Aster like carrying it on one shoulder. And you all make your way out of the forge with it. And you're headed where? To the
Codex, the Matrix Codex thing.
Okay. All right. So while that's going on, Franz, you make your way to the college. You throw open the doors, and as you do, you see Tolliver standing there, like he's making his way out of.
Like he was making his way out?
Yep.
Hey.
More tequila.
Here, Tolliver, please follow me. We have much to discuss.
Okay.
You see, as you're standing there, he's got his robes on and everything. He's got like snow in his hair and on his robes. And you're like, and he's like tracking snow and water into the college, and you're like, what the fuck is going on?
I was gonna ask you to call everyone and say that we need to talk about some stuff later today.
You see, just like moving past you, and you gotta like turn and like walk with him and like catch up, like hurry a little bit to catch up to him.
What is it?
Please, we must check on Fraulein Blue. I feel
Okay.
something may be happening to her, but we will find that out when we get there. In the meantime, here is a copy of my dossier. It entails we will be besieged very soon.
What?
He just sort of like,
I do
as he's
not know
walking,
about
he just
besieged,
like,
but-
he just like hastily slaps this dossier into your chest as you guys are walking.
Please peruse that while we walk, and we will see about Fraulein Blue.
How did you figure this out?
I have many contacts in many cities.
Huh.
And you see, like on the report, as you like pull up the first place, it's report of the Order of the Iron Fist to Master Harlequin. And as you sort of look through it, I'll give you. I can't.
He sent it to me,
Okay.
the dossier, so I have.
Yeah, I
it.
put the notes in our group chat.
Okay. Cool.
So when I see that the Order is sending a force to Ellengrad led by the Pillar of the Sun, do I
Mhm.
recognize that as the leader of the monks we fought before?
Right. Yeah. That is. Yes. You have met this
Head
guy before.
monk.
You have fought. Yeah. You have fought with him.
Not the leader of the Order, but the head of the parties that were out
Yes.
fighting. So, yeah,
Exactly.
okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, then I'm
Is
just
there ice in this? Sorry, what's
full business mode following you to blue. But I'm already planning as soon as we get a second of downtime, I'm gonna scry this leader.
Okay, sorry. Alright, so as you all are making your way to Blue's room, when you get there, you hear a crunch noise as you look down, and like just at her doorstep there's snow on the ground. You open the door and you swing it open, and it's like hard to push the door open. You have to like shove it through snow. I'm not gonna make you roll for it. You fucking
Please, thank you.
And you push into the room, and you see Blue's room is covered in snow, but you see she's laying there in her bed with like her little blue head sticking up out of a layer of snow on her bed.
We'll go and try and uncover her and see if she wakes up.
Okay, make a perception check real quick.
Both of us?
No, just Franz, because it's something that he's seen before.
Got you.
So the perception check is it you're 17?
Yeah.
You sort of over the corner, you check, and like her room is like all the rooms in the college are sort of identical, right? But you like looking off to a corner away from her bed, and you see two large hoof prints standing in the corner of her room. And when you go over and you throw the covers off of Blue, and you like, you know, try to wake her up. She wakes up. She's like, what? Master Franz, what's going on? And why am I so cold? And she's
Well,
just
Blue,
like,
have you
she's
been
like
having any
shivering.
dreams?
You see her.
What was your dream last night? Quickly, child.
She just, her eyes flutter for a second. She's like, I don't know. It was cold. I'm really cold.
Just my two.
I can't remember, but there was something there, but all I can remember is it was cold.
It's okay. Come with me. We will warm up by the fire. I just wanted to check and see if you were all right. It seems you had a visitor last night.
And as you sort of say that, and you look over, and Franz looks over at the hoof prints in the snow, and Tolliver, you sort of track his eyes to the corner, and you see the two large hoof prints there in the corner.
You see me raise my eyebrows at Franz.
I have as much information as you do at this time.
Okay, alright, well, one thing at a time. Let's... If I don't want to... I'm going to kind of meaningfully look at Blue and say, let's deal with the pressing matters first.
Yeah, I'll pat Blue on the head, get a fire going, make sure she's all right, and then I'll head out and with Tolliver to call everybody in for a meeting.
Yeah, if we're getting attacked, I didn't want to say it in front of Blue and worry her with what goes on with her. But if we're getting attacked, I guess that's priority. But what was at the foot of her bed? Can you tell me that at least?
Do not know. It seemed like some hoofed creature was also in my room as well and haunted my dream.
Huh.
How to ruin your
All right. Well, you can call everyone to the college. I guess we can try to make a game plan for these monks.
I'll do that.
Okay. As that's going on, you're gonna scream right to Bucky. Bucky, you're sitting there eating breakfast.
Oh, it's real good. Mm-hmm.
right, that's it. No, I'm sorry. No. No.
Knock me down and steal my teeth now.
So as you're sitting there, you see Randolphus enters into the cafeteria. You see him as you walk. He walks in. He doesn't
Did
really.
he see me?
No, he doesn't see you sitting there, but he goes and gets food. And as he turns around, he sort of like looks over the cafeteria, and then you see him see you. And as you're watching him, he sees you see him. And he just like nods his head at you, and he begins walking over towards you.
Well,
He-
hello, good morning, sir. How you doing?
Master Bucky, would you mind if I sat and had breakfast with you?
I would have it no other way, good sir. Here, please have a seat now.
He sits down at the table and he goes, do you perhaps know where the your compatriots are?
I had the slightest idea. I went to sleep. I was real tired. I tell you what, I'm a new buddy this morning. I think things are really gonna start turning around.
Well, I'm glad to see you have your appetite and you're so chipper. May I ask, did you or the other stewards perhaps check into that light that's over there to the east?
That light? Oh no, see
The
that
green
light- that
one,
light right-
yes.
Yeah, the green one that's making all the noise and racket. Yeah, that thing. I have no idea what that be about. All I know is that yesterday we was down there at the mountain, and you might want to talk to what's his name, Voss. He might know a little bit more about what's going on with the but we didn't go down there. Not yet.
Master
Anyway.
Voss was seen leaving the city this morning through
He
the
did
front
what now?
gates. Master Voss has left the city this morning through the front gates.
How far does my message go?
Message is like 20 feet, I think.
Oh,
100, but still.
Oh, is it 100? Oh, okay.
right.
Yeah, I
See,
mean,
do I
Didn't
have
we
to
know that he
see
was
somebody?
leaving?
Yeah, he's our ambassador, remember?
Yeah, right. Thank
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. He's acting as our ambassador. He's gonna go get some of the other leaders of the world, and we gonna have a parlay. That's kind of the plan
he
right
goes,
now.
He goes, do you know if... When you say that he's going around to various leaders in various countries, you see, you see Randolph is sort of like, he hunches his shoulders and like lowers his head, and he goes, do you perhaps know if he's headed back to the High Elven, or if he's headed to the High Elven city?
I believe so. Yeah, I think that was one of his first stops.
You see a very visible grimace come across like Randolphus's face. Like he bares his teeth and he like cringes in front of you. He goes,
Well, now I'm not being born tonight. I can't remember when I was born, but I can tell you there's something real bothering you right now.
yes, no one perhaps mentioned to him to not mention my name to anyone over there, perhaps.
I don't know if that came up. I think so. I think there was more pressing matters at hand, like I don't know, like the end of the world. That's happening, by the way. Supposedly we can't stop it.
Excuse me? The end of the what?
Yeah, well, it's the end of an age, right? Like so, all the gods are dying. They're
You
dead. They
see
gone.
Randolphus go shh, shh. He just like
What?
he waves his hand like down in like a shushing motion. Goes shh, shh, shh.
I don't know.
Like,
any
look
better
at me.
volume.
He goes,
I have
look
to-
at me, look 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 at me.
I'm looking
And you
at
see
you.
like
I
as
see
you
you
look
right
at
there.
him, like as you look past him, everyone in the like the people around you all in the immediate vicinity in the cafeteria like have like turned and looked at you. And he goes, please, Master Bucky, do not incite a riot in the cafeteria.
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to cite no riot.
I know, but talking of the end of the age, the end of the world, will cause panic.
Well, I mean, it happened faster than a knife in a phone booth. I tell you what.
He goes, please. And you see, like, as you're talking back and forth, Randolphus, like, his eyes perk up, and he pulls a stone out of his pocket, and he focuses on it, and he goes, Master Franz is calling a assembly of the stewards, and I believe we should probably head that way now, and if you could, while we walk through the city, Make no mention of the end of an age to anyone as we're passing.
You got all that from that rock right there? That's a good rock. I want to get one of them rocks. Where'd I get one of them?
It's called an eye stone.
Ooh, I like eye stones. They tell you a whole bunch of things. Well, let me finish my break. Where does he want to meet at?
I think it might be best if you finish your meal on the way. We're meeting at the college.
Well, I mean, I haven't had fast food in a long time, so I guess it's about a good time for that. Get it?
As he collects, he collects
food?
some of the remnants of his food. Yes, I.
You real serious. You need to lighten up.
Well, there's a lot going on, Master Bucky. A lot of which feels out of my control, and as a control freak, it sets me on edge.
Well, you know, sometimes when a lot of things get going on, you just gotta do one thing at a time. At least that's how I live my life, just one thing at a time.
So as you all are working, and so we'll screen white with you all heading out of the cafeteria into the college. Hephaestus, you get the call from Franz. What would you guys like to do?
A little busy right now. As I kind of grunt because of the wait. Can it wait until I'm done restarting the Matrix?
Herr Tolliver, can this wait for Hephaestus?
Can it? How quickly do you think they'll get here?
How far is the city, Wick? Don't have any idea. I probably know relatively how long it would take to travel there, right?
I mean, he didn't tell you what he was doing or where he was going? Are you talking about the travel from Ellengrad to Iravel?
Talking about the
Yes,
monk.
that one.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So, all right, let's do some. So Iravel would essentially be where, like, Detroit, Michigan is. So someone Google this for me real quick, because I didn't scale my map. Dude, Detroit, Michigan. To you all are essentially in like Atlanta, Georgia. Like, that's the difference. That's the distance.
Walking from Michigan, Detroit, Michigan to Atlanta, Georgia is 700 miles, and it would take 229 hours. Walking.
So roughly 10 days.
I feel
We got
like-
time.
Yeah.
Am I hearing all this yet?
Yeah, we can wait. That was all for that.
Yeah, Hephaestus,
I
you may
like how that
continue
works
doing.
out. 10 days is a nice number. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, Hephaestus, you may
I mean-
continue faking.
I mean, it's not going to take long, I don't think. But I kind of got a big ass thing, and I'm going to restart the Matrix.
You're
As a
good.
matter of fact, now that I got you guys on the phone, you guys might want to come over and yeah. Hopefully this doesn't blow up and destroy the entire city.
I mean, we could talk in the forge. We can go there.
He's down at the
Yeah,
vault.
I suppose we could move this to the forge.
He's going to the vault.
We can talk in the vault.
In the vault, yeah.
All right,
It's
so
your
we'll
place
say,
to talk.
we will say, fast forward. All of you all make it into the vault.
Oh, I don't like this place. Why'd you bring me back here, Grandolphus?
So Festus still just lifting things.
This is where I was told that we'd, as you sort of walk in. This is where I was told we would be meeting everybody. So as you all, so you stand there as you see Hephaestus is like standing like right here. Oh, the ping was better, and he's like standing there with Asters. They're carrying this like giant metal crystal tuning fork shaped object. As he's standing in front of the bands.
What are you doing?
Oh, we got it, guys. Don't worry.
Gonna restart this thing.
Okay.
I got stuff to tell you. Yeah, I didn't just make this on a whim.
I got
Had
some
a-
stuff to tell you.
Had a
too.
nice conversation with Hephaestus last night.
Like yourself?
No, yeah,
I
like
like talking to myself sometimes too. All the time. It's real good.
I mean, I
like
talk.
you know,
myself, I
Mistra.
talk
You know,
about
like
myself in
the
third
Mistra
person.
version of Hephaestus.
The god.
Yeah, that one.
You just, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this is yeah, we're gonna fix this thing.
Did he say anything else, or did he just?
It's bad.
like,
Apparently, apparently, I have the last bit of his power on this plane of existence. I'm not exactly sure what the hell that means, or how the hell I'm supposed to use that. But it was a short conversation. He was bitching and complaining that I can't do shit on my own. I'm keep asking him to hold my hand, and I
well, you
wanted to yell at him because he's an idiot. But
did just tell all of us to come here and help you, so I guess he's not like that wrong.
fuck you.
Yeah. All right. So here's the thing. Last night I was in the library, right? And I was looking up the guy in the sarcophagus with the 7-pointed crown on his head.
Oh, we
And you
don't like
remember-
him.
Yeah, well, maybe, but you remember
We should
when
probably leave that alone.
remember when we were talking to Mistra at the Heart, who seemed to have discarded Aurora, by the way. And you're talking to Mistra, and I asked her if the thing down there came before her, right? And I mean, I guess she didn't say it did, but it seemed like it might have. And what I found in the books is that what's holding him down there is, I mean, it's far beyond like anything I've ever, probably any of us have ever seen before. I mean, the runes, the magic, it's not just, the heart is required to hold him here. And it's beyond just holding him here. I mean, there's barely any records about it. It's like, what I'm trying to say is that I think Mistra might have captured this thing and imprisoned him here so she could attain godhood herself.
Well, I can say that I asked Hephaestus about this last night, and he didn't give me a warm and fuzzy answer. Basically said that it was up to us. We had to have free will. I'm not exactly sure I like that answer. It wasn't a yes or no.
Wait, you
But
asked him what?
About the dude with the 7-pointed crown.
Oh, okay.
I asked him, I said, I got him in a basement. Should I let him out? And he's
Yeah.
like, I can't tell you yes or no. You have free will.
Well, that's not helpful at all.
Yeah, I know. Well, he kind of flickered out in and out when I asked him that. The look on his face was kind of one of, like implying it's a terrible idea, but I don't know.
It's some very, very troubling information that would imply that our goddess of magic. It also implies a number of things. It's
I mean, what it really implies is that I don't know how powerful you would have to be, but something adequately powerful could basically ascend to godhood.
Well, here's a question for you, Randy. What does it mean when Hephaestus? What does it imply that Hephaestus said I have the last bit of his power on this plane or on this realm?
I'm just now catching up, and I'm gathering. It seems to me that there are these. You all are experiencing these echoes of the gods. At the loss of 2 of their avatars, they've reached out to you personally. When we know them to be sealed behind a celestial gate. To you, Lord Hephaestus, I would take a guess that it would mean you are his last vessel. You are his last cleric. You are his last. You are his last. You carry his.
He happened to mention that I was his last hope.
It could mean that you are the last person to worship Hephaestus and use his teachings and arts in your work. With
Somebody change their mind and start worshiping Hephaestus.
Should we draft a good word, sir? It is my attempt at levity. Sorry.
No,
may I-
but I am gonna start. I am gonna start teaching a religion class in the school at the Forge.
I believe
So-
that's. I don't. That might go against the charter of, well, that freedom of religion, sir. You can't force.
It's my school. They don't like it. They can get
in the-
out.
oh, you mean in the forge, not within the college?
No, the Forge.
Ah. Well. Of course. We have a private Catholic school, apparently. A private Catholic trade school.
I mean, temples to gods and goddesses are definitely something that we can erect.
I mean, the Forge is essentially a temple.
It
to
is.
Christ.
It is.
Yeah.
I've already stated
you're,
that.
you're
I
right.
just wanted. Anyway.
So, a lot of questions. It's just the sky's green, and Randolph, I don't know if you've. It seems like it's coming from
So
the
I
Elven.
asked Master Bucky here if he knew anything, and he was very starved for information. So if you could enlighten me on what intel you all have,
I wasn't starved for information. I was hungry. I was eating. You interrupted my breakfast.
It was a pun, sir.
Well, I know what a pun is. That wasn't punny.
He just
All
sort
we
of
can do is
he
guess.
chuckles to himself. It seems to me it is far off to the east. And may I ask just candidly, is there a reason you all sent Master Voss to Cindervale?
The explosion of power somewhere off in the east. So is the Elven capital. It's one thing to see the state of it, and it's another to try and see what their mindset is regarding everything. I mean, both of those things would be valuable to know.
Ah, indeed. Thank you. For
What
informing.
we know about the Green Sky is that it's quite probably another heart that has been activated, I guess, for lack of a better term. What they were trying to do here, what Malith was trying to do here, it is succeeded, basically, is kind of what, it's really just conjecture. But we are going to have to travel in that direction. But before that, Franz came to me this morning, and it seems like we have an attack imminent on the city. And this time we actually have a little bit of warning, thanks to him.
Oh, the more reason to get the network going.
Yeah, but Franz, would you tell us?
Wait, what'd you say about the attack on us? Who's it gonna attack the city?
You haven't met him yet, Bucky, but we've run into them a few times.
The Order of the Iron Fist.
Hey,
While they're chatting back and forth, I'm assuming Hephaestus and Aster are still holding this gigantic tuning fork.
You are.
Yeah. Hey, this is a great conversation, but do you think maybe we could, I don't know, get this thing started so I could put this heavy ass piece of steel down?
I'm going.
When we
off
got
the
here, we asked
word
if
of
you needed
God.
help.
Didn't think this was going to turn into a meeting while I'm holding this big ass thing.
That
I
was
think it
literally the
implied.
reason why we came down here.
That
It
was
was
your
imp-
request.
All right. What are you trying to do with this, Hephaestus? What are you gonna do?
I put my end down like 10 minutes ago.
So Hephaestus is just holding this because I don't want to drop it and break any of the crystals.
Yeah, Aster just set it down gently, robotically, almost.
Amazing.
So is the end of this flat, or does it have like the end? Like, so you got the fork part, right?
Yes.
The stem, is it flat or does it have a
It is-
crystal on the
It
end?
is rounded. It is rounded. The entire fork is rounded. Like there are no sharp edges on it whatsoever.
Okay.
And there are. It does have leg crystalline tips.
Okay. Anybody know how this thing works? I say that jokingly. Come here, somebody who can, Bucky, and Aster. I need you guys to help me.
Oh yeah, what you need? I got you.
We're gonna put the single pointed end up against the ring that's exposed. I need you guys to hold it there.
Okay. All right then. I'm gonna hold it right here.
Hold it with them.
Are you gonna hit me though?
No, I'm not gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit it. So just hold on real tight because it's gonna vibrate. Don't drop it.
Well, you okay?
Hey Franz,
Yeah.
can you cast like levitate or fly on objects?
I can move it with my mind.
Oh, perfect. Does it have a weight restriction? Do you think you could move this?
You have telekinesis, don't you? That's right.
I sure do.
I just need you to be ready to grab it in case they accidentally drop it in the pit. I can't afford for it to go down. I'm going to have to remake it again, and I'm not sure.
1,000 pounds.
Why not
Oh.
just have him?
No,
hold
that's
it with
plenty.
his mind?
That's plenty.
Okay, perfect.
That's plenty.
Just have him hold it with his mind while you hit it.
Because I don't want to tax him, I need you to hold it.
My strength is a -1.
So telekinesis is concentration, isn't it? How long does it last?
It is. Up to 10 minutes.
Okay. So what are you doing?
I'm going to go out to the two-sided end, and I am going to push a. I want to say it's going to be radiant damage. Is going to help it. I'm going to throw a cantrip Word of Radiance at the crystals in the tuning fork while it is touching the ring, just to see what happens.
Okay. You have the tuning fork laid up against this ring here that's exposed that you said.
Mm-hmm.
You cast Word of Radiance into the delayed crystalline tips of the tuning fork. You hear the tuning fork begin to emit a sound. And as it does, it sort of thumbs and rings out. And it almost sounds like bells are ringing. Nothing immediately happens to the codex machine, but the tuning fork is sitting there for 6 seconds goes by as the energy of the spell is expended. It puts off the noise, and then it dies away as the vibration of the tuning fork dies away.
And nothing happened to the
No.
ring didn't do anything. It didn't react at all.
Nope.
All right. Move it over to the crystal that's on the ring.
Can I put this down now?
No,
It's real. Oh, hold on. One second.
you're fine. You're splitting the load between you and Aster. I'm sure Aster's holding everything.
Bro.
He just drops his end on the ground.
Is Franz holding this thing up with the spell right now?
He never cast the spell to my...
Yeah, I wasn't planning on it.
I'm not very strong, Hephaestus. I'm sorry. Can't do it.
This is a city of wizards and scholars. I mean, why would they have something that requires such strength to use?
Well, doesn't he have workers in the forge? Why are
They
we
weren't
out here
there.
breaking a sweat?
They weren't there when I left.
No, they were all there.
Well,
They all
don't
showed
know.
up for. They work every day. What do you mean? They work every
I
day.
got this, guys. Do this myself.
Well, why the hell wouldn't I have taken one of them? That makes
You
no
tell
sense.
me. You tell me, bud. You didn't ask. You didn't say a word about him. You said you got up and you went and worked on the thing, and then you and Aster carried him out. Like what?
I assumed that Aster came before they were at work.
It's a forge. They get up at like 6 a.m.
Tolliver, you got
went to
any radiant?
bed. You went to bed late. If anyone was late, it was you.
Oh, right out loud. Randy, can you do me a favor?
Yes, Lord Hephaestus.
Can you please, I don't know, can you teleport? Do you have the ability to teleport?
Maybe. What do you want?
Can you teleport to the forge, grab 2 of the biggest idiots that are over there, and bring them back here, please?
Perhaps it would be better served if you sent one of the spectral guard to.
I was gonna
Mission?
say.
This is a rigmarole.
Yeah, but you could teleport them back. God bless it.
I like how Hephaestus asks if you have the tool to the problem instead of stating the problem.
That is not
Right
how this
back.
works, sir. The vault
Guards,
is sealed
I'm
off.
just gonna call for a guard.
You actually have to leave the vault completely to call a guard.
Damn it.
This is a rigmarole. I don't.
If you weren't such a weak ass rabbit, we'd have been done with this already.
I'm a rabbit.
My lord-
Have you met any strong rabbits?
Hephaestus, Lord Hephaestus, if I might, it seems to me that the thing that you have made here resonates with a certain type of energy that is gathered inside of it.
Mhm.
Mayhaps you should seek the source of the energy you're trying to place here.
I mean, that's a really good idea, but do you have any of the ley crystals laying around? Or
You
I
have-
don't even know how to connect this
there
damn
are-
thing.
Ley crystals within the fork.
I'm okay. But that's not how tuning forks work.
It's a tuning fork. I know all about a tune. La 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 la. See?
I'm getting a migraine.
Want me to tune it for you? I can tune it.
No, I don't want you to tune it for me.
All right. Well, I offered.
What, if I may, sir, what is the source of energy you're trying to gather here?
The heart?
Mayhaps you should seek the heart with your device?
I mean, I don't see how that would work because it's here that this thing needs to resonate the power to go.
Yes, but you can walk back and forth, sir.
Okay.
The door is plenty big enough.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and put this down while you guys talk this out.
I'm picking it back up and we're going to the heart.
Does anyone help him carry it?
I'm just gonna drag it. I'm just gonna drag it like it's a dragging it,
Okay. He's
leaving a rut behind it, trying not to damage it. As everybody else is being obstinate.
What do you want me to do?
I expect you to stand there and look pretty.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you're good at.
He does that. He does that all naturally.
Yep.
I need to go hit the.
Did
bushes,
you go get
though.
the? Did you go get the guys from the damn forge? Did you go do that?
I've been right here.
Hey y'all, I'm gonna go hit the bushes. I'll be right back. You need me for nothing?
What?
No, go away.
Wait, what?
Hit the bushes.
What
Go
does that mean?
TT. Go use the restroom, man. What's wrong with you,
Oh.
man?
I never heard anyone say that.
Well, hit the bushes.
We don't pee in bushes.
Go see a man about a horse. I'll be right back.
okay. So you all head up out of the vault.
Once I get out of the vault, I'm gonna yell as loud as I can for a spectral guard.
One appears beside you.
Go to the forge, get 2 of the overly large mutants that I employ that bang metal and fucking get them to me so they can carry this.
Please.
Thank you.
Sort of snaps his salute, and he fades away. All right, Bucky, are you just going to go use the bushes? Is he? Okay. All right. I think it was code for something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he had to go use the bushes.
Indeed. All right. So some time goes by, and two of the forge workers show up. One of them goes, "You cold, master?"
Yes. Pick this up and walk this direction. Please.
Just sort of, they nod, and they pick it up, they heft it onto their shoulders.
Very talented apprentices.
And they're good for something.
So you all make your way down into the heart. It takes a little while to get in there, about an hour. So you get there in front of the heart, the tuning fork. What would you like to do?
Hold the crystals up to the heart, please.
You see, you see them like maneuver. So like he's not standing near the end where he was, and he holds the crystal up to the. Are we sure? He looks at you and goes, "Master, are you sure you want us to hit this with this?
Huh?
You sure you want us to do this?"
Well, I need to get the power from the heart into the crystal somehow.
Okay, well,
Anybody got any suggestions?
So you see the tips of the fork move up and then like contact with the heart. When you do, you see white light flood between the heart and the forks as the lake crystals inside of it light up, and you hear this. It's almost like, imagine if like a human could hear a dog whistle. It's this high pitched whistling noise in the back of your ears, and you see, and it's visible. It's not like a constant. It's like a whining, and then like the noise like mellows out, and it kind of the pitch drops, and you see the tuning fork. It actually vibrates in a rhythmic doof 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 doof, and when it does, it lets out this like clear whistling noise on the heartbeats.
do the two holding it seem fine the whole time?
They look really nervous, but they seem okay.
Boys, if we get this done, I'm gonna promote you.
Does that mean you'll actually pay us, sir?
Oh, God, no.
Oh,
What's this doohickey going?
Your wages are learning how to do what I do. This is all part of it, boys. It's a lesson.
I mean,
it's so honorable to yes.
and you get to live. You've seen the sky lately.
Yeah. Yeah, this is all part of the plan.
Oh my god. Okay.
And so we're going back down to where we were.
So you all
Back to the vault.
That was pitch black dark, right?
Did all of the crystals like light up, or does it look like I need to do it again? Does it look like a glowing, rolling, like, I don't know, something
Yep.
you would see at Mardi Gras?
Yep.
Okay.
So you make your way back down into the vault, and you now have the tuning fork down in front of the codex, and it's like pulsating and humming with this energy.
Ooh, that's a real pretty.
So,
little
I don't want to have to make multiple trips here, guys. Do you think we should put it in to the band itself or up to a crystal? I was given instructions on how to make this, not how to use it.
I can tell.
Would I have any idea?
Festus, what do you think?
I think the best way to do it is to do what we did before, put the single end up against the band.
All right. I'm gonna tell you, I can do magic. I know spells. I have no idea how to do this shit.
I understand. I just figured maybe it might be intuitive to you. I'm gonna say I'm just gonna say a prayer that I do this right and don't have to make another trip to the damn heart.
Make a religion check.
I get it with advantage.
Nope. So as you instruct him to sort of set the tips of the forks up onto the band, you see he has to do a shoulder. The guy has to do a shoulder press to lift it up to the nearest crystal. And you see as he gets up there and he gets it to a full extension, you see his foot slips out from underneath of him, and he begins falling. He loses grip of the tuning fork, and as it does, it comes down and it contacts onto the crystal hard. And it actually hits down so hard, the energy is expelled from the tuning fork. And like a large thrumming pulse, the white energy is expanded and it hits off into the crystal and the band around it. You see the band itself light up with white light. It hits it so hard that the band actually moves, and it's set sort of like the inertia sort of like carries it and dislodges it, spins it over. And as it begins moving it over, the band lifts from the pedestal as white, almost like lightning energy arcs between each one of the crystals. And when they're all lit up all the way around the band, as it's moving, and it sort of syncs up where it's like congruent and parallel with the inner band in the middle, the crystals shoot energy in between the outer bands into the inner bands, and that ring begins spinning. And as it does, the codex begins lifting up out of the platform. Once all of the crystals are lit here, energy shoots into the pyramid matrix in the center. You see all the runes and all the filaments light up with this white energy as it sort of lifts and begins beating and pulsating like a heart as well. As the rings are spinning, they're not contacting as you did the first time, like they contacted off of one another and sort of fell to pieces. It seems that they're both in a parabolic movement where they're just concentric to one another and they don't seem to be contacting at all. It's putting off this soft whistling noise and then that underlying doo-doo of a heartbeat. You see the runes in the basin as the crystals on the outside. They start pulsating in rhythm with the beating in the center. You see the runes all along the floor light up bright with the white light as well. And each one of you all who have a high Arcana or proficient in Arcana, you feel energy begin like rushing into this room. You feel the flow of magic being sucked, like an extreme gale of magical force being sucked into the center of the room here.
I obviously, when that dude started to fall, I would try to grab him. Did he fall into the pit?
No, you catch. No, he catches. You catch him like on the shoulder right before he tumbles into.
Okay, good. I didn't want to have to pay his family.
The tuning fork clatters to the ground beside it, and this thing seems to be running perpetually, with all the rhythmic pulsing in sync.
I'm gonna clap both the guys on the back. Good job, boys. We got it fixed. Do me a favor. Take that tuning fork back down to the shop. Set it someplace where it's not gonna get broke.
They just sort of look at you, and they when you say please, they pick up the tuning fork and they head out of the vault.
Ungrateful. Well, Oliver, I think I got it running. I think we need to go get to Aurelia and see if she can access things now. But what did you want?
This is a great job.
Oh, well, thank you.
All this made me think, at the end of the world and everything. Are you worried at all?
Me?
Like about your kids?
Nah.
Like out there with the world ending?
They'll be all right.
You don't want to bring them here?
No.
You don't want because we could find them.
I'll go get him.
I thought we already discussed this, and I thought we already planned to do that.
Because Franz has his agency. I can scry him. So, shit's blowing up. Sky's green.
When this all over, we going.
Sorry, it just popped into my head while I was watching you do all this.
That's right.
all
Randolphus looks up and goes, "That was yes. I saw my life also flashed before my eyes." Such Oliver.
Yeah.
We're gonna get a big barrel of white lightning when this is all over with. It's gonna be real good.
Tell you what, Tolliver. Tell you what. Here's what I want you to do.
You're head of the city now. You can afford it.
I'm aware. Here's what I want you to do. Find them, right? And if they're not shitheads, you can bring them here.
You're a shithead, though.
That's exactly why I don't want more shitheads here. There's only room for one shithead in this town, and it's me.
What they say? What do they say? The pecan don't fall too far from the tree.
And there are also the two gnomes that run the marketplace. There's more than just you here, sir.
Oh, you're calling them. You could say it.
I'm sorry. I don't know what you're. You see, Randolph just kind of puts his hands up.
Well,
Oliver, what would you do if you were in my situation?
with the kids, or
I
just
don't even
in
know if they're
general?
mine. I don't even know if they're mine.
I think we all know they are yours.
Are you calling for a paternity test, sir? We could bring them here and verify the.
But if we bring them here and they're not mine, then I gotta look at them.
I'll be right back.
What does that?
This is a big city. There are at least.
Would
at
it not
least-
please you to see more dwarfs around?
Exactly. Think about it.
I hate dwarves. That's why I left the town.
All right.
Hey, look, you want to bring more dwarves here? That's fine, but it's on your heads.
I've never met a real race
when
trader before.
when the bars start getting torn up and we need to fund a police force,
Jesus.
it's because you
Wow.
guys
What?
are dumb.
What?
Such a racist turn.
Is it? But is it? It's his own people. I don't
It's this quest
understand. I
unexpected.
don't understand. Is it? What
Uncle
you never?
Ruck Festus over here.
Hello. Have you not seen me? Do you not recall the brothel at the town with the sunken temple? Do you not recall
I
the barrels of mead in the sunken temple that I decided to bathe in?
Yeah.
That's just me. If you think I'm bad, get a bunch of us around. Your call. You want to bring them? Feel free.
Well, you did a great job turning this on. So,
Now, hopefully, it will do us some favors and we can get some stuff working. Because I don't know if I told you that, guys. I really want to take Aurelia with us.
we could see how she feels about that.
I kind of like having her in the skull on my shoulder.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think when it comes down to it, it's her
But I know she won't leave unless there's people who can continue her work.
Right. Well, I mean,
Or,
we should
or
probably
AIs.
see what this did.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We should probably go get to Aurelia because she's the only one that can access the network at this point.
Right. Yeah.
So it's settled. You guys left her. We left her in the college, right? We're gonna go to the college.
Oh yeah, she's at the top floor of the college up there. She should still be in the little podium that we left her connected.
I wonder if she's able to access now that theoretically we have
Good
the network
point.
back online. Would she be able to move about freely? Hopefully, she's still there.
Aurelia?
Can I put my hand to the? I'm gonna. Well, no, I can't. I can't put my hand to it because it's spinning. Like it would probably rip my arm off.
Yes, I don't advise putting your hand in it. So.
Is there anything in this room that looks like it might be connected to the network? Just this, right?
As far as you know, the only other thing other than the codex machine is the runes at the bottom of the basin. But other than that, there's nothing else
Okay.
outwardly visible.
Well, let's.
What do
Should
know
we
where
poke
she
our
is?
heads? Hey, should we poke our heads in the other chambers to see if this did anything with those? Like particularly the chamber that had the miasma in the floor with the table? Maybe it drained it.
I think.
What would possibly give you that inclination?
I think the miasma is there to contain the table, because it was pretty shitty as soon as we unveiled it.
That's true.
But
And the other thing that we need to get on, and I'm not sure what its purpose is. I'll have to ask Aurelia. But that room in the bottom of the research place that we left her originally, with all those colorful crystals, you guys remember that?
yep,
Yeah, we need to fix that. I think.
that seemed like a way for the avatars to convene to the city.
Nah,
Did it
that
not?
was
Oh, there was 2 rooms. Yeah, I'm thinking.
that was. I'm talking about the one in the basement, not the
Right.
one upstairs.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, okay, so we have. I guess the first step is going to see Aurelia.
I would assume that she'll be able to tell us what that room does,
Soon.
and then we got to get the automatons out of the observation thingy.
And we got 10 days till these guys show up. I mean, I figured taking stock of what this did for our defenses comes first, but we should probably also make a plan of action. I mean, depending on.
I mean, isn't it obvious?
Hmm?
We build a big freaking laser weapon and shoot them.
I'm sorry.
What's that? What's it? What's a
Like a
laser?
focusing crystal for one of your fireballs.
I think he done got off his rock.
So you turned one of the most ancient seats of arcane power on it. The first
Create the
thought you
Death Star.
have, the first thought you have is a big fireball.
Oh, that, or I don't know, some sort of offensive
It's-
weapon.
Let's go talk to Aurelia.
Offensive for who, sir? Like, who are you?
Well,
who are you?
defensive in nature, but offensive in purpose.
Who?
Other way around.
No, you said you were just talking out of your ass, sir. Who are you meaning
I'm
to
glad
aim it at?
somebody said it finally. Wee.
Oh, there's a force coming to the.
You were
Franz-
standing here, Randolphus, when we talked about this.
I don't think we ever really did.
I asked about it. You said it's some people that you met before, and we'll get into it. But you never got in.
We started talking about it, but you were carrying the big fork.
Oh.
That was heavy.
My bad.
Franz, what was going on?
Well, we do not know their motives at this moment, other than they have come, or they are on their way to kill Blue's ice demon. I do not know if that means that she is in danger as well, but I would assume so, considering these same people murdered my son and wife.
It's a safe bet.
Well, we ought to hightail it to go ahead and get this place up to snuff, don't you think? How many people is they gonna be?
So I was gonna say, is this a small group looking to infiltrate, or is it like a force?
The dossier said up to 10 people.
Oh,
Oh,
God, just 10 people? We could probably do that with only 2 spell slots left.
I think I can take him out myself. Just tell him a little joke.
well, let me float this idea to you guys. I mean, the city was just recently attacked, right?
Yeah.
And it was in a dramatic way. Everyone in the city saw what happened. Everyone in the city was just rocked by a false Hydra impersonating people. I mean, if this is going to be kind of a safe zone or a bastion for the end of the world, I mean, what if we went out and met these guys on the road before they got to the city? If we could
Ooh,
figure
you
out
mean
where
like
they
an
were.
ambush?
Yeah, stop them before they get here. Remove the threat to Blue or the people, Don't put another attack in front of the entire population. I mean, we don't
Finds
know.
this arrangement agreeable.
I mean, we do have. Can your little guards people? Can they go outside the city? You have guards, right?
They're tied to the city. They
Well, who is-
wouldn't leave if we asked them.
Who is them ones that's gonna come out there and get us when we was doing the whole miasma thing up in the mountains with the dragon? Who was that gonna come out and get us?
Hmm?
There's some people that was outside the city. They was gonna come out and get us.
What do you
Come
mean?
look
The
for us.
regular guards.
Oh yeah,
the
we have a regular contingent of guards, like of
the regular guards.
ghost
Okay.
people. What do you
So
mean?
you just put them on.
They,
you just
however,
put everybody on.
they are very
Green?
yes.
No. Yeah.
They're not
Well, you just
veterans by any means.
you know what? I can get him trained up real quick.
You.
No, I can't. No, I can't.
Okay,
Lie.
yeah.
Yeah, I was-
I just wanted to see looks on your faces. You should have seen your face, Oliver. You
Uh-huh.
look lost. You look all scared.
I like to
Anyway,
think I did. This really didn't change at all at this point with you.
your eyes flash red. Hmm.
But
I agree
mean-
with Lord Tolliver's sentiment. Preventing threats before they happen is, if you want the capacity to do so, is the nobler thing.
Or we can rally the troops and we can say, listen, there's some craziness going on in the world, and we, in this city, will be the last beacon of freedom and liberty in the whole wide world. And we gotta fight for it. That now, so you got the whole city on your side. Just saying.
I'm not.
Put it out
it's-
there.
I think it's gonna come to that, but this is a group of 10 people. They're obviously not gonna attack us head on. You know, if we can take them out before they get here and implant themselves in the city, it's probably gonna be an easier time. We don't want something like what just happened, the false hydras again.
Do we want to take some of them green guards and get them out there and get them some field exercises?
Why don't we figure that out after we get to the college and talk
Perhaps.
to
Oh,
Aurelia?
well, Lord Bucky. I think Master Bucky is making a broader point here. Perhaps instead of you all acting on your own, you use your forces preemptively and allow them to accrue some sort of experience. Perhaps you send your mortal guard out along the road between here and Iridel, and mayhaps they'll come upon them, do their job, protect the city,
That's what I was saying. That's exactly what I was saying.
allow you all to focus on other more or maybe grander matters. I don't know how pressing this
Yeah,
is.
that's
Lord
a great
Franz.
idea,
I
but
apologize.
as-
I don't mean to minimize
No, you're right. I just worry that they'll be
that they'll be
will be
slaughtered. So,
overwhelmed. Yeah, exactly.
well, that is
I mean, if this person's out here hunting blue with 10 people coming to our city, I mean, Franz, they know about our defenses, right? They're not coming in blind.
They know about our defenses and they know about us as well.
Well, how about we send out the guards with maybe like
and they've
Me
also
and
encountered
Franz.
you once before.
Right. I just feel like whatever they're going to send is going to be more than enough to take care of our contingent of guards. No offense to them. They're not exactly that strong.
I do agree that we should send them out on patrols, though.
Yeah, I think generally that is a great idea. Yeah.
I
Just
do not believe
specifically-
that we should leave this up to just the guards. One
Yeah.
of us, at least one of us, needs to be there to supervise.
I'd agree. They need someone more powerful than just Tiberius and the guards.
Besides, we do not wish to just simply slaughter all of them.
Timber.
If they are sending this force, they may send others.
Right.
They also want to take the city, so it is best that we learn as much as we can
Well,
about them before.
perhaps you all should go then.
Less of a job for our hammer, you know what I mean? We, like Franz said, hopefully can get information about these guys. So.
Well, whatever it is we need to do, the whole world is going to hell in a handbasket. We need to go ahead and hurry and get this going. Figure out what we're gonna do.
Well, they're still 10 days away, at least. Well, probably, maybe 8 or 9 now. I don't know when they
The
left.
dossier is now 2 days old.
8 days away. So, we have a bit of time before we would
That's
have
if
to
they're
set out.
sorry. That's look, and Randolphus goes. So that is if they're traveling on foot.
And,
Moving at a regular pace.
well, I
or
guess
any
we
other
could do is-
mystical means.
That's true. I can attempt to scry the leader tonight, and we can get a feel for what's going on, or at least after.
Since that
we
is a good idea
walk up there.
regardless.
I'll do it once we're up top there with Aurelia, so we can take stock of all this as well. Maybe we can use something.
We have to think about maybe there's someone within the city feeding them information as well.
That is, Randolphus points at Astringos. That is something that I was also concerned with. How do they know, without actually having been here before? How do they know about the city and you all being here?
So
Well,
it is
the
unclear,
obvious-
but considering how many refugees we have had, it is
Right.
And
it is impossible
I mean,
to say.
when the defenses went down, it removed the anti-scrying enchants. So
And
That's
then,
true.
Did anybody see us on how we took the fences down and put them back up? Somebody might know how to do it.
yeah, a good thing that they can't do it without rune. So
As far as we know, yeah.
They could
That's-
make a key out of a candle, right? And that's how they can get it open.
Well,
He's
there's
not
no
sure,
way
they
we
could
can.
He's not-
absolutely try that.
Randolphus goes, he's not serious, is he, sir?
Yes, he is.
Let me.
my.
We can't screen every person in the city, but Aster, do you think? I mean, any offense, but just anyone you know in your circles, do you think? I mean, are you suspect of anyone in the city?
I was
Would know,
going.
would you?
I was going to ask Randolphus here if he has seen any sightings of Karkaroff within the city lately.
Oh, well, within the last couple of days, I have not seen him. Can't think back on when the last time I did see him. I don't really have too many interactions with him. To be honest, sir, I'm sorry. He's not really the type of person I tend to deal with.
Do you think he might be feeding information?
Might be worth looking into.
Fair enough.
I say we detain him and question him immediately, post haste.
Well, maybe we can. I don't know. It's not my department.
Not mine either. I just like saying that. It was good.
There's a dangerous path to go down, freely detaining your citizens.
Right. Oh,
If
as
we
far as
have-
that
if
goes,
we have a
we can't.
reasonable suspicion,
I don't think you do, sir.
Maybe we can leave this up to people like Aster and Franz that know how to finesse a little bit.
you trying to say I know how to finesse? I'm real finessey.
Mm-hmm.
Well, where we heading to now? We heading up to the library?
To the top
Yes.
of the tower of the college, yes.
Okay. Alright, as you all head that way, I'm going to take a quick restroom break. And we'll get back.
Oh, good.
I'm gonna go take CJ out to go piss real quick.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I really have no evidence on that.
No, yeah, I feel you. I figured like maybe you and Franz could work together to spy
Yeah,
on him or
it's,
something.
it's just a hunch I have, I guess.
Yeah, I got you. That's better than nothing.
Be right back, too.
All right, I'm back.
Dana,
What's up?
I just thought about this. Can you like just hit your allies? It's just like a regular attack roll. Or can you like give
Yeah.
your allies advantage on hitting you? Like, can you purposely get hit by an attack? Do you know?
Well, I get. What are you trying to do?
I guess what I'm saying. So I have contingency, right? And I can put Dimension Door on it, so it's like I get to X health and Dimension Door goes off as a
Mhm.
just it happens. And with Dimension Door, I can take one other person with me. So I was thinking, like, if I was close enough in a stupid situation, could like an ally run over to me and hit me and proc the Dimension Door, like if they're about to die? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't see why that wouldn't work.
Like someone, like a friendly, kind of purposely procking my Dimension Door by hitting me lower. It's like
Yeah.
never gonna happen, but
You could also just give it a key phrase.
yes, but I guess there's discrepancy on like when I could say that phrase.
No, it'd be a free action. Because the
Like
point of
during
contingency
anyone's
is
turn.
yeah. Because
Oh no! What I know I could say like during anyone's turn, but what I mean is like, there's easier ways to prevent me from being able to say a keyword than there is like it just goes off if I get low.
that's
It's
true.
a better fail safe.
That's true.
I could be incapable of saying the keyword for whatever reason.
I was saying like it's anyone who says it, really. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah.
It is like a creative spell like that.
But you're right. Like you can be like you and your allies can be like made silent in many different ways.
Right.
Pumpernickel.
Or like we're all underwater or some stupid shit. You know what I mean? Like who
Mhm.
knows?
Someone could do it to fuck with you.
Right.
Dimension door. All right, we all well. Ben's not.
I think Ben's taking the dog out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what are the rest of you guys? We'll get to. I'm sure he'll just go along with the group. And so what do you guys want to do?
We're going straight to Aurelia to kind of take stock of what turning on that thing did. I think was the general consensus.
Okay.
And along the way, seeing if we notice anything different about the city.
Okay. As you guys are moving through the city, go ahead and make perception checks. Okay. So as you all are moving through the city, you don't notice anything immediately different. Like anything like the outside of the buildings or anything like that, or the people, or anything really physical with the city. But as you all make it to the college and you make it through the college, and up to the top floor with Aurelia, as soon as you all walk into the room, you hear her voice ring out, and she goes, "So I see you guys managed to do something. What happened? Tell me about it." There's just all this energy flooding throughout the city.
I have no idea what happened. Hephaestus did it.
Hephaestus?
I'm back.
Welcome
His
back.
ghost.
Is Ghost here?
Get your feathers ruffled.
I don't think I heard him since we.
Well, it's not. Let's hold here then.
It does say in contingency, the spell takes effect only on you, even if it can normally target others. So, never mind.
Am I dumb or did Ghost talk? No. Okay, I'm dumb.
Yep. Hey, Wick, I'm just throwing this out there. If anything ever happens to Randolphus, I'll quit the campaign.
Oh man,
Watch Randolphus be the one behind all of it.
Nope, I'm done. I'll join him.
that would be
Just
so
saying.
stupid. I'll join him.
It's the start of our evil campaign.
He's the one that's
Yup.
behind, like he's the one been in the vault, man. You mean to tell me he's archived everything in the vault and he hasn't looked in the rooms? Bullshit, bro.
What do you mean?
He's been in those rooms. He's seen all the ages, and he's yeah.
They didn't interact with anything. They just like looked at it and marked it down like this ball of black shit box
So
of
he
gold.
says.
Okay, I'm not gonna tolerate this Randolph.
So he claims. You remember
Sedition.
Franz was adamant that he was not who he said he was. You know.
I'm not gonna lie, I still don't trust him.
Bro,
See, just saying.
die on the Randolphus Hill.
He said, "Doesn't matter. I'm going with him."
I don't care.
He's just guiding us the whole way. He's just like, well, it would be a good idea for you to go out there and attack them on equal ground. Well, maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you should stay here in the city. Like,
Maybe you should leave your weapons.
Maybe, yeah, exactly. Maybe you should go out there naked.
So
Say any of
Sorry,
that.
I'm back.
Yes, he did. Not the naked or leaving the weapons part, but
He just simply said it would be a good idea if you all were
He's
preemptive
just-
about the threats to the city.
He's an advisor.
Yeah, advising us to betray the
No,
city.
no, there's no evidence.
Yeah, an advisor of bullshit.
No,
Yeah.
there's no reason for you guys to do this.
Who are we talking about?
Randolph.
We're killing Randolphus.
Why?
No.
Because it's the only joy
Literally,
Tint has.
Nothing
That's
happened. We were waiting for you to come back, and I said I liked Randolphus, and here we are.
Oh, I like Randy too. He's a good dude now that he's not a doppelganger.
Exactly. He never was. There was a doppelganger of him.
Do we know that for sure?
Same thing.
Let's just start.
Wait,
Let's
he's
get
what
back
if
we're
we
to
here.
did
this.
Okay, so all
One-
right.
a double doppelganger.
So we're here at the college, Hephaestus, and Aurelia asked you guys what you all managed to do to the city. Like what? Because there's energy flooding throughout the city now.
I fixed it, I think.
Oh, you fixed something. All the energy pathways are there, but they're still all sort of locked off. I'm still sort of confined to the college here.
Well, I started the Matrix.
Although there are some
I got
there
the
are some
Matrix start
functions
back up.
there are some functions in the college that were previously not available to me. It's kind of crazy. Self habitation.
What does
Huh?
that mean?
The building can seal itself off and act as like a containment center.
Oh, kind of like another
Like a,
dimension.
like a standing actually sort of. It creates its own little pocket dimension
In the building?
around
That's
the building.
Around the building.
So, do you think that maybe if you got back to the building that we had you in before, you might be able to access more stuff to
I
unlock
think-
it? Or
You could keep transport. So the problem is the pathways in between the veins are not. They're still currently sealed. So we're still isolated to the individual positions here. I feel like if we just can get to maybe the main place and I can maybe unlock them there.
to the heart?
To where I don't know, wherever you all went to flood the city with this power, it's coming from. I mean, it does have an origin point. I can trace it back in a direction.
Oh, okay. Well, I can take you back to that.
Cool.
Just hop into the skull. I'll put the skull on the thing. I will say that there were no like stations or anything that I could see. So I don't know how you're gonna access it.
I don't know either, but we gotta do something because it's still not the energy's there and it's sort of it's flooding into the system with no direction. It's gonna become unstable.
Huh.
There's just too much of it with no direction right now, and it's just sort of pouring into the system. We need to hurry, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so as you proffer the skull, as she transfers into it, and you all make your way out of the college back over, down into the vault, into the codex with a little bit of haste.
I'm getting dizzy. I say that when at some point in travel.
So as you all get down into the codex room, and you hear Aurelia's voice go, "Oh wow, wow, that's a lot of energy in this room. What's going on?"
Well, yeah. This is the Matrix Codex thing. I had to restart it.
Oh, let me see.
I'm gonna take the skull off my shoulder and proffer it out in front of me and kind
You
of like
do.
pan it around like a camera.
You see, you don't see. You feel the skull begins to vibrate in your hand, and it's pulsating. Then eventually it levels out into the rhythmic beating of the pulsating heart in front of you. And when it does, you see the energy, the yellow light of the energy from that usually categorizes Aurelia. You see it flow out of the skull's mouth and eye sockets, and into the rings of the codex. And you see the energy like flood into each one of the crystals, and it changes it to the bright golden yellow. And you see the whole thing lights up into this bright gold and black banded codex heart as the rings stop spinning around each other and they synchronize and they stand like parallel to one another, straight and not moving. And you see like the eye. It's like it's almost like a stylized eye with this in the middle, with the two bands around it making almost like an iris and like a pupil in an iris.
Yeah.
And then it focuses down on you, and you hear a voice sort of ring out from it and go, "The system is now fully online."
And you get out.
You see like the middle band sort of like folds in half like a blink in front of the giant codex thing. And it sort of focuses on you. It's like, "No, I am the origin. Someone must stay here and be. There is so much." You see like the eyes like looking around. Like it's not just focusing on you, it's like twitching, looking up, looking to the left, looking to the right. There is so much.
Okay. Can we create an AI to replace you in here to do that? Because I'd really like you to come with us. Hadn't talked to you about it yet, but now I guess is the only time to do it.
The eyes sort of like it's like looking.
We gotta
around.
save the world.
Make a persuasion check.
I am terrible at these. Told you. Terrible at it.
You hear the voice ring out once again. It goes, "Someone, if I leave, the system has no direction. There always must be one here."
I get that. We'll make another one, and we'll swap you.
The systems within the temple are damaged. They must be repaired.
Okay, I'll fix it.
Lord Hephaestus, you have much more to deal with. Allow me to operate the functions of the city. It's what I was meant to do.
Yeah, but I figured you were trapped for so long you'd want to come on an adventure.
This is much more important for me.
I really
Well-
hate you right now, Wick.
Well, if we get another heart connected, can't you be there too? You can't just be like all over the place,
Another heart.
like in another city. What if all the hearts can be connected somehow?
I can feel. You see the eye sort
You know,
of. Looks,
now that you mention that, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
the eye sort of looks up and away from you, and she goes, "I can feel other presences around the world. Around. There are others." I can feel them. And the eye sort of like focuses back down on you. I can feel them, but I don't know where they are. If you all could.
What if
connect me-
this is? Sorry, I thought you were done.
If you all could connect me, maybe I could reach out to them. I don't know.
Well, we do know one is having a dying duck fit somewhere off to the east, where it's just
There
like,
is. Now that you mentioned that, Lord Bucky, there is a. Feels like a wound. It feels like a wound in the world.
We'll go patch that up here shortly. One last thing, Aurelia, before we leave to go start fixing things. Actually, a couple of last things. One, would it be possible for you to break off a piece of you and like split yourself? That's the first question.
Hephaestus, I really think that you have some type of codependency issues right now.
I'd like you to shut up.
I'm just putting it out there.
That's one, and if that's not possible, we'll figure something else out.
Well,
Two, you know that.
Let me ask, if you said things are damaged, you have work to do. In the future, when things were repaired, would it be easier to swap you out?
Honestly, I don't know.
Hmm.
Everything right now it's new. There's a lot. I'm still processing it. Things aren't instant. It's all flooding in at once. I need time. This is really intense. When we are made, we are not made with the information. We have to learn like you all do. It just so happens that when we're connected to these systems that within the city, we learn all the information that's in code. We're stuck within the confines of the systems that we're raised in. It would not. It just wouldn't be a good idea to put a new being into this. It might be best that you just leave me here, and then we can figure out how to make new ones to plant them throughout the city. Hephaestus, you can always come here. I will always be here.
Okay.
And I can also be reached throughout. There are various nodes throughout the city where you can contact me with your steward crystal. There are these steward
Gotcha.
nodes located in various buildings and places throughout the city.
Is there one in the forge?
There are multiple in the forge.
Perfect. Off topic, or back onto correct topic. Now that we've figured that out, the temple that we left you in, right?
Yes.
Okay. So in the basement, there's a bunch of crystals. Do you know what that does? And how important is it for us to get that working as soon as possible?
I'm sorry, there's a underneath
Yep,
the temple?
in the basement, underneath the temple.
There's nothing underneath the temple.
Uh-oh. I'm gonna look at Tolliver. That's not good.
There's only 3 floors in the temple.
There was definitely stairs that went down.
Not to my recollection, and I was there for quite some time.
Yeah, you think you can access that network?
I can.
Talking
Like,
about the
from-
building with like the space prison on the top?
Yeah, the one that we found the deck of many things in. I think it's called. I think it was the temple. I don't remember what it was called. The one we left her in.
Temple of Enlightenment.
Yeah, that one. DM, am I losing it here? Like, there was a basement with a bunch of colorful crystals, right?
Yeah.
I'm not losing my
I don't
damn
know
mind,
if
right?
It was technically the basement. I think it could have been either way. There was definitely a floor with that.
I'm going to describe the floor to her, what it looked like, what you could see. Bunch of colorful ley crystals. All the colors. Bunch of ley crystals spread out in a circle. Each little section had its own big crystal that was a color, and then there was a small crystal next to it that was the same color, and then there was another crystal next to that, it was a different color, and then the big crystal that was the same color, the next one, so on and so forth. All the way in a circle. Ring any bells?
There's nothing in the schematics of the temple to indicate a room like that underneath.
Well, I'm going to look at Tolliver and go, we need to figure out what the hell that room does.
One of the outer ring, like, shifts from being like parallel to perpendicular, and one of the crystals like shifts and looks down at you all, and then like a projection of the schematic of the Temple of Enlightenment is projected all 3 floors in front of you all. This is the schematic that is on file.
We believe you.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's not, but I'm telling you that there's another floor in that building that's obviously not on the schematic. I'll look at Tolliver and go, we need to figure out what that room does, because probably a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that it's not. The world's ending, you know?
I get that, but the Temple of Enlightenment was a temple for the gods themselves. Right? They could come and go freely in that building. So if there's a floor not on the schematic of that building, then either A, they built it for a reason, or B, somebody else built it without their knowledge for a reason. It can either be a good thing, or it could be what's trapped the gods. In theory.
That's a big theory, Lord Hephaestus. Randolphus looks over at you
expl-
guys. That's a big conspiracy.
Well, then
Yeah,
you
yeah.
explain to me why there's a floor that's not on the schematic.
Why don't you take us there, Lord Hephaestus, and we can look further into it instead of just guessing.
Let's go. Aurelia, can you connect to that building?
I can meet you there.
All right, we'll see ya.
Is there a
Well, one second.
is there
I'll
a way
meet
to
you outside of the boat.
really is there a way to travel between buildings with the system online?
I personally can't. I can communicate. I can't travel. However, I am.
No, us.
Oh. Not from within this room, but there are multiple pads in various major buildings. Not all of some of them were damaged and have yet to be reconstructed.
Gotcha. Okay.
There are some.
Is the one in the
however.
government building still working?
We
Because that's kind of where we're at.
we fixed some up when we first came here. Remember, to get around.
Yes.
Teleported
There
us.
and there are those gates as well. Also, the gate to the Underdark is also operable.
Okay. We have a bit more agency to travel.
I'm not going to the Underdark anytime soon. Mm-mm.
Might need to start mining more crystals.
You really hated that place.
I don't think it's much.
Bucky
safer
didn't.
above
Bucky
it.
wasn't there.
No. Ben.
Yeah, I know.
Just in general,
We were there for so long.
Oh, we've been in Ellengrad for longer. At least it's 10 times better than the Underdark. But
Well, he okay. I can't believe. Oh my goodness! I must be feeling under the weather. But I think I'm just gonna put it out there now. We need to get to the east, where that energy's coming from.
right.
And I think what we do, aren't the people that are trying to come get blue or whatever, aren't they coming from that direction too?
Franz?
Which direction are they coming from?
Coming from the north.
From the
So
north.
no.
So I say what we can do. We
The-
can go out. We can go to the north. We can knock them in the teeth,
Go east.
and then we go east.
I'm
Yeah.
all for doing that, but there's still stuff we have to get done here before we leave.
Why do we have to do all of it? Why is there nobody else that's competent enough to
We're-
be able to handle some of this stuff?
With the city back online and the defenses, you know,
Like
as long as we have the
he
def-
seems to be pretty. On it,
I'm
boss.
sure there is, but we can't give them instructions unless we know what the hell is going on.
Festus, we can't get everything in the city working perfectly before we leave. When we just don't have time.
I agree with you.
There's more pressing matters.
I disagree with that, but I agree that we can't get it all done.
I mean, the world's ending. We have to prevent them from activating more of these hearts. We have to see if we can reverse the one that's been activated, and at least immediately, we have to make sure these guys don't get to blue, which, you know, admittedly is a bit less high stakes than the entire world, but I think is relatively important to all of us, regardless.
Tell you what, let's go look at this one room that I just it's gonna bother me, and I'm gonna bitch and complain the
Okay,
entire
yeah, let's
trip.
go look. Let's go look. at
And
the
then we'll go from there.
Always gotta do what a business want to do.
What?
say that in my
I
bad.
flash him I flash him an evil look.
What room are you talking about?
Okay,
Alright, 1 second, right back.
this is what I was wondering if you were even. Do you remember this room, Wick?
What are we talking
You
about?
showed us it the other day. It's the room in the basement of the
So I do. Okay, I just want to. I do know
Enlightenment.
what room I do know what room you're talking about. I just want to make sure that's what Like that's the room you were talking about. Make sure we're on the same
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was just wondering if there was like
page. Yeah.
if you
In the
just, like,
Temple of
deleted that-
Enlightenment-
deleted that room.
No,
from the
there-
world.
Yeah,
No,
spent
I
20
didn't.
minutes fucking talking about a room that never existed.
To be like, yep, no, fuck you guys, it's not there.
Talking about this room.
Yes, that room.
The one that we started messing with way back when we were liberating the city, and then we were just like, we're moving on, and you were like, you guys are moving on, and we were like, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you all make your way over to the Temple of Enlightenment. This is the first. So the stairs down into this were actually underneath of this machine, if I recall correctly. It was like the platform underneath of it opened up. So you all do the same thing again and make your way underneath. And you all make your way into this.
Did Aurelia meet us there?
So Aurelia tells you there's nothing down there for her to communicate, for her to like correlate to. It's a dead zone underneath of the temple for her. She cannot go down there.
Okay.
I'll be honest, I didn't know back then, and I still really have no clue now what this room is. But you're not crazy. I mean, it exists.
Bucky has.
So as you all are here, everybody just make a perception check. I'll give you. Let me see.
I was just gonna say Bucky hasn't been in this room, but has he seen any kind of crystals like this before?
You've seen. They look kind of like some of the light crystals you've seen around the city.
Okay. Grab some food. Get back.
The black squares.
Does it look like these podiums with the crystals on it are like connected to the middle? Like, are there any veins that run there? Or are they kind
So
of
there's
just all
a
separate?
lot of rubble on the floor here, right?
Right.
And like you see some of the crystals like poking through some of the rubble, but unless you clear out the rubble, you can't get a good idea of what the actual floor looks like down here.
I'm going
Um,
to.
What the black squares are what the perception check is. Those of y'all who were down here before, I should have said that. But those of you down here before, where I just put the black squares, the crystals here are now shattered and laying in rubble.
Huh.
Just like these podiums here,
Right.
they're also all crystals that are shattered in color, and you can try to derive what those colors might be based off. I don't know why I'm telling you this. Anyway.
Yeah. Are like these crystals full of energy? Like they're giving off the color?
The ones that are full and whole, yes. The rubble ones are like flickering and dim and like just barely putting off the light.
I'm just gonna touch the orange one, and I'm gonna touch it. Does anything happen first off, I guess?
When you touch it, make a intelligence check.
Just be stupid and touch it, I guess. Smart, touch it.
Okay, you feel the heat of the sun radiating off of this when you put your hand to it, and you feel it like pulse through your body, and it sends like a heat wave down your spine. And you have to take your hand off it, and you feel just like you see smoke raising off of your palm, but it's not physically damaged.
This place wasn't the observatory, but it was like artificery was done here
This
on the floor above us.
The floor
Or is
above,
that where the
the floor
AI is
above
made?
you is the AI incubation inhabitation area, like
When
where
you say
they're
incubation,
cultivated. or they're cultivated.
When they're made entirely?
Yes. So the systems upstairs, you remember that you guys repaired the building, but repairing the systems and the artificery and everything else, like the divine working within the building, is a different step altogether.
Oh,
It's
so
like
I guess...
the observatory. Like the observatory building is repaired, but you all have not repaired the seeing device inside of it because it's a super difficult working of magic. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you all had the giants rebuild the physical structures, but you all never went back individually, like repairing the network system, checking out buildings like this. Like it's more in-depth things that you guys haven't gotten around to doing yet.
I guess all I could tell you, Festus, is there's magic in these, and I would imagine that I could probably detect magic on them and tell you that there's different schools of magic corresponding to the colors, but I have no idea what they're for. I have no idea what the room could even be for, or what it would do. It's I'm not very technical.
With your all's
I
perception checks, I will give you this. Those of you who rolled 20 or above, you can see that underneath of the rubble, some of the spots where the rubble isn't here, there are things diagrammed on the floor here. Like there are things that have been worked into, and there are glyphs and pictographs, things like that on the floor here. It's just the big picture, and the majority of it is covered by rock and rubble.
Can I use my abilities as a cleric, a dwarf that has, you know, I'm a hill dwarf, so stone and shit, to try to start moving, getting rid of some of the rubble, the rock rubble, the stone rubble. Use shape stone to shape it into the...
Do you have shape stone?
I do.
Can you put it in the chat?
I mean, it's going to take a while, but...
I was gonna say, like, I don't know. Like, aside from moving it with your hands or with excavation equipment, I don't. Like, it's not gonna be a quick. It's not gonna be a quick process at all.
How do I...
Festus, I just feel like there's nothing we can do here.
It's like, I don't know if it's concentration.
It's not concentration, it's just
It's
instantaneous.
instantaneous. Yeah, sorry. No, that would be. You'd be eating a 4th level spell slot every time you wanted to move 5 feet. Like, yeah, it's not.
I'll tell you what, here's what we'll do.
You got the system online for the city of Festus, I think.
I understand that. Here's what I'll do. I'll get some of my guys to come over from the forge and start clearing the rubble out
All right.
and getting it all cleaned up. And I don't know, pushing the colored crystals where they should go. Although I don't know if they should touch those. Can I go over and touch one of the crystals that are laying in amongst the rubble?
Which color would you like to touch?
I don't know, this lava-looking color right here.
The red color?
Yeah.
When you pick that one up,
I didn't say anything about picking it up. I just wanted to touch it.
well, you have to dig it out of the rubble. So you have to,
Okay.
like, pick it up out of the rubble. When you do, when you hold on to it, you are instantly overcome with the urge to fight, punch someone in the face, scream, rage, yell out, like, just beat someone's head in, and it's really overwhelming, and then you drop the crystal out of your hand.
So a normal Monday for me.
Well, it's like insane, like bloodlust.
Yeah, that's not good, whatever that was. And then before we leave, can I touch whatever's on the floor here in the center?
So when you look down, that is a kaleidoscope mosaic of all the various colors of the crystals. And there are some colors that you see within this diagram that you do not see out and around you, but you can maybe guess that those might be the colors of the crystals that are shattered.
Right. Does anything happen?
And so
Do
when
I
you,
feel
so you like
anything?
kneel down and concentrate on it, you were overcome, like you were just flooded with a multitude of emotions, like the rage, the heat. You feel like, I I'm just going to be frank with you. You get an erection because you feel like lust and like you're overcome with like the need to reproduce. You are hit with like the feeling of like wind like rushing all around you. You feel deeply connected to a deep magical, like there's just a bunch of like ridiculous emotions and feelings that flood through, and it's a little overwhelming. You can like stumble back off of it when you come to.
Gotcha. I think I know what this room's for, but I'll have to check with Aurelia on the way out.
It's got real good acoustics in here, tell you that much. I started playing my flute.
Make a performance check. When you start playing just casually, you see this crystal begin to grow brighter. And you see the pinkish purple like hue of that energy begin permeating like motes of dust into a fine stream of motes that begin pouring out of it and feeling and dancing around. Bucky, you're like slightly lifted off of your feet. Your fur stands on end. And you are like your fur takes on this pinkish purple color as you're sort of standing there. Well, not standing there anymore. You're sort of lifted like 2 inches off of your feet. As you're sitting there and like you're enwrapped in this song that you're playing through your flute.
What the fuck?
Can I go over and yell at the pile of crystals that I touched? Like just scream at it?
When you scream at it, you see some of them sort of like rattle and vibrate on the ground.
Oliver, what did yours feel like?
It was hot.
Flip a cheap ass fire spell into it.
I'll firebolt it.
But like the rattling, I will say this: the rattling of the red rocks like go away when your yelling ends.
Yeah.
As you shoot a firebolt over, it just washes across the crystal and nothing happens.
I gotta. This is intriguing, but
I'm fairly certain I know what this room does, but I need to check with Aurelia on what the purpose of this room
Randolph,
is.
it goes, if you are, then speak it. Like, what are you waiting to? Like,
I'm fairly certain this is the it's the epicenter for them making AI. It's basically the humanity of it,
that's what I was
for
wondering. When you
lack
said
of a better word.
when they were fully incubated above, I mean, like their soul, right? What makes them?
Yeah, I think this is the creation of that soul that they bump into.
Why are all the crystals shattered then?
Something obviously happened.
Just a guess.
It's just a theoretic. It's theoretical,
Well,
but
if that's
you
the
know,
case, then that means this is damaged and you can't produce new.
Right.
Yep, that's why we got to get the boys down here to start cleaning this up, so maybe we can figure out how to fix it. But that's a project for a different day. Which also means Aurelia is going to be working herself to death trying to get this place up and running, because she won't be able to get any more AI.
Well,
I mean, she might be able to get AI, but they won't have any humanity. They'll be drones. They'll be autonomous. They'll just
Or
be designed to do a specific thing.
They'll be missing the facets of their personality.
right.
Precisely, and it'll be just something that its only designed point is to run this machine.
That's a good guess,
that's-
but I don't. That is a good hypothesis.
Well, what would you think it's for there, Randy?
That's
Yeah,
what I
Randy.
think it's for too. If for the record, Hephaestus
Well, what-
is what I also figured it was for some way. If not that specific,
Well,
at least some type of.
My
enchant
first
focus.
inclination is this is a temple to the gods.
True.
I mean, this is
But it's
underneath a
also-
temple to the gods, and
It's underneath the temple of the gods, but it's also where they incubate the AI right above us.
but you
So it's kinda-
mentioned there are some crystals here that
Oh.
were here whole that are now broken.
Oh,
Yes,
I see where you're going with that, Randy.
And
okay. Yeah.
Yes, and we do know of a couple of gods who avatars are dead and who have. I don't know. That was where my head went.
It's probably a smart
Yep.
guess. Considering that there's gates on the second or third floor for the avatars to come through.
Yep, I see where I'm picking up what you're putting down.
So, down here, the orange is still here. Probably because you're still here, Festus.
Well, so is the purple and the blue.
Yep. Mistra's not fully gone. We know that. Not yet, at least. And there's something below the city that I think came before her anyway.
And the pink. That pink was pretty.
Yep. It's ones we haven't met yet, seems.
Did I get
Well-
any indication when I was playing my flute? But any like feelings that I got around that?
It was honestly one of those things where it's like, well, I don't know if you're familiar, like if you play any musical instruments really, but like there's sort of like a mindless zone that you'll get into when you're playing, and where it's just like natural and reflexive. That's the only thing, like your mind almost went blank and you were and you felt the music, and that's all you could feel or think about.
Oh, okay.
I think that's a good line of thinking, Randolphus, but still kind of brings us back to what this room is for. I don't really have any guesses along that line in terms of like the specific purpose.
Oh, if we're going by what Randy's things, then this is their anchor.
What do you mean?
It's just the anchor point for them.
You think this is the anchor point for gods?
As dumb as it sounds, it's probably either an anchor
What do you
point or
mean
the
by an
representation.
anchor point?
It's what tethers them to this reality.
No way.
Well, he might
Yeah.
be, but okay, that's not an anchor point. What if it's a origin point?
Could be an origin point.
From what you all said earlier, you implied that Mistra ascended to godhood. She had to
Yeah.
do that somewhere. It had to happen somewhere. If she was mortal, it had to happen somewhere on the mortal plane. What if it's not one god ascending at one time? What if a whole pantheon has to ascend all at once?
I grab Tolliver's hand and start dragging him to the middle of it.
No.
We're gonna stand here and become gods, dude.
No.
I
Well,
don't
that-
think that's going how. I think he's going to
I don't
burn up
think-
until crisp.
I don't think you
I
can
don't
do
think
it right
that's what he was
there. I don't.
implying.
Randy, do you want to be a god?
I don't.
Come on.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Lord Hephaestus, I do not believe that you specifically can do it right there, right now.
All right. Bottom
Makes-
line, we'll get the boys to clean this up, then we'll come back and look at it.
Well, hold on. This is a chamber to ascend into godhood. It's laid off all of the plans. The AIs don't even know about it. It's hidden beneath. I don't think we should have people coming in here to clear it out. I don't think we should make it known. I think we should either do it ourselves or
We don't
leave it
have
as
to
it is.
tell them what it's for.
I don't think we
They're
should.
not, dude. They're
No,
dumb as a bag
no.
of rocks. They're not gonna figure this shit out.
You're
All they're
dumb.
gonna do is
You're being dumb as a bag of rocks right now.
Can't we do something like where we bring them down here and then like before they leave, we just kind of like change their memory a little bit?
That's
Guys,
invasive.
That's
no.
ridiculous.
They're my people. I can do whatever the hell I
No,
want.
no.
No. Lord
Can we be a
Hephaestus.
little bit realistic?
What? I thought just if you just remove the memory of them being here for just that
That
one thing.
that is a gross invasion. Imagine if someone did it to you. It is.
Did you guys not read the contract I make my people sign?
No.
I'm
Lord
gonna-
Hephaestus, this
Franz,
is
do you
not-
want to scry the leader of the monks that are coming to attack our city?
Yeah, can we go?
Yeah, let's go do that. Don't tell people about this room. People are coming here to ascend to godhood.
So don't tell people about the secret room that can make you. a
I'm
god.
leaving.
I don't think it's the room. It's Never mind.
It's okay, Randy. It's all right. It's all right. Got you.
God. There's so much.
I think I made Tolliver fit to be tied now. Tell you what.
So we go back upstairs. Before we leave, I want to check with Aurelia.
When you all enter up into the ground floor, or the lobby or whatever, the main chamber, and you there's a note on the wall you actually have to like contact with your crystal, so you can talk to her. It's light up. It's like lighting up and blinking. So you walk over, you interact with it, and you hear her voice come in and go, "Yes, Lord Festus, what's up?"
Are you able to start making new AIs? Can you
Hell,
access this place?
No, I am confined to the. Been over this. I'm confined to the Codex.
Yeah, but you can't access this place from there?
No. AI did not make we did not make ourselves. We were made by someone.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna walk over to the machine, start pushing buttons randomly.
Hephaestus, can you just for once in your fucking life take no for an answer?
No.
Nothing happens on the machine.
I'm gonna kick it.
You hurt your toe.
Okay. We'll go back and push the button again.
Dude,
I don't know how this damn thing works. We'll figure it out later. Got more important shit to do. I'll get with you. Bye.
Watching him I whispered this to Franz. Watching him spiral like this is kind of sad, don't you think?
Yeah, it's a bit
satisfying.
crazy.
I just walked past everybody out the door. I'm out the door. I don't know where the hell I'm going, but we're going somewhere else.
Is he gonna be okay?
He comes to a room where he thinks people become gods and then just starts hitting all the buttons.
I have a mirror in my study in the
I
college.
don't. Just Lord Franz, just for clarification, I don't think that's where you can become a god. Just so we're clear.
But that is what he thought.
Oh,
If he thinks that he would just randomly start hitting buttons, that seems crazy.
it is.
Yep.
But this is a different. Yes.
The time that I've known Festus, the short time that I've known him, he seems to be a kind of person that's dead set on his ways.
He's a really good
He's passionate
Forge
about what he cares about.
worker.
Yes. He's very passionate about his causes, and he has a single-minded focus. It can be very useful.
Dangerous to the rest of us, yeah.
No.
It could also make a preacher cuss, if you know what I'm talking about.
Ironic, because Hephaestus is
I was
a
about to say. I
preacher.
was about to say. I think he is a preacher who cusses, isn't he?
Technically, yeah.
All
But
right.
he make other preachers who don't cuss. You get.
All right. So, I'm gonna, as you all are leaving the temple here, I think some of you guys said you're gonna go scry on.
The pillar
Pillar
of
of the
Dawn.
sun.
Okay.
Yeah, that one.
All right. So, just so I can get prepared here, going forward, you guys are trying to go meet the threat of the Iron Fist.
We want to set an ambush.
Unless anyone, yeah, like unless anyone's super against that, but it seems
Okay.
like that's what.
I am not okay. Not prepared for that. I need time to like work some things out. Like, cause there's like a bunch of different choices, right? So like I can't prepare for everything.
Sure.
So
No,
I
that's
need to know
understandable.
what you guys are gonna focus on. So
Just do what everyone else does and just railroad us into what you're prepared for.
this is.
Or
I
just do it on the
purposely-
fly and
Yeah, I'm
prepare
not-
for nothing.
No, not that good. But okay, so I'm gonna call it there tonight. It's also been 3 hours.
True.
Yeah, and I've got stuff I gotta do. So
You suck.
we will do the scrying.
Thank you, Wick, for putting on this game for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem, guys.
Festus over there freaking having some attachment to fucking codependency issues.
Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, did
I
you
wonder
come
why she
with?
didn't wanna
Did you come to
travel
the
with you.
building where I'm at? Could like, bro, you are in love with a robot.
This guy's a little.
No, I'm
attached.
not.
No, I'm not.
No.
I finally found somebody who actually talks to me like I actually know what the hell I'm talking about.